cutting shop with the women. His name quickly spread throughout the jade betting community in Cayenne City. Little Jade God. Chen Yang became famous in one battle. Beep. Gained 10 points. Current total, 260 points. Keep it up. The system points came a bit late. According to the prompt, it was to help Su Yulan resolve troubles. The 10 points earned were still too few at this stage. He needed to accumulate more for future needs. The Jade Street became increasingly lively as night fell. Having just made a profit, Chen Yang was not satisfied and was still thinking about a huge opportunity. Unable to resist, he asked Ding Xiang. Ding Xiang understood immediately. You want to make another profit? Chen Yang chuckled. Buying the Moon Bay Grand Hotel requires 500 million. With only 7 billion now, I must continue to make money. Alright, I'll take you to a secret location. It's the largest jade trading place aside from the stone betting conference. Chen Yang became excited. This was the place he was looking for. Under Ding Xiang's lead, everyone continued on their way. Chen Yang walked in the middle when suddenly, a drunk man stumbled against the flow of people and barged into the group. Chen Yang was worried he might bump into the beautiful women and prepared to block him. Suddenly, a cold light flashed, and a sharp dagger lunged toward his chest. Chen Yang's scalp went numb. In an instant, a palm strike aimed at the opponent's wrist was unleashed. The drunken man was quite formidable, quickly changing his move. A dagger slashed towards Chen Yang's wrist. Chen Yang transformed his palm into a capture technique, executing a move that immobilized the opponent and sent him stumbling 3 steps back. After a brief exchange, Chen Yang assessed that the man's combat strength was likely that of a mid-level warrior, leaning towards assassination skills. Upon closer inspection, he realized the drunken man was actually a foreigner. In the next moment, the man decisively drew a silenced pistol and pointed it at Chen Yang's chest. Chen Yang's body stiffened, instinctively preparing to use a technique to dodge. However, remembering that Lu Sisi was right behind him, he immediately dismissed the thought and remained still. The drunken man revealed a cold smile, confident that everything was according to his plan. He pulled the trigger. Bang! Suddenly, a strong young man rushed over and tackled the drunken man, causing the bullet to miss its mark and the gun to fly out of reach. The two engaged in a struggle, and the strong young man, displaying considerable strength, seemed to possess the prowess of a junior warrior. Chen Yang quickly joined the fray, taking advantage of the drunken man's distraction to launch a surprise attack from behind. With a powerful strike, he shattered the man's shoulder blade and then used a capture technique to subdue him. The strong young man, with torn clothes and visible injuries, looked somewhat dazed. Chen Yang expressed his gratitude. Thank you, little brother. The young man replied curtly, no problem, and then hurried away, leaving Chen Yang bewildered. He had the chance to properly thank him for saving his life before he vanished. Are you okay? Lu Sisi and the other women rushed over, concerned. Chen Yang shook his head. I'm fine. He immediately took out his phone and called Heihu. Brother Hu, are you still in Xian City? Yes, Heihu replied succinctly. Likely still busy. Chen Yang continued. I just encountered an assassination attempt by a foreigner. I suspect it was sent by Fong Haoyan. Heihu was taken aback. The case involving Chongqing Pharmaceutical was currently investigating the Fong family, but evidence was lacking. He hadn't expected a lead to arrive so quickly. Wait there. I'll be right over. Soon, Heihu arrived with several team members to take the drunken man away without alerting the local police station. Ding Xiang, feeling uneasy, suggested. Shall we go back? It's too dangerous here. Chen Yang shook his head in disagreement. No way. We agreed to come here. How can we change our minds now? Ding Xiang looked at him in surprise. You still want to go? Are you valuing money over your life? Chen Yang smiled. What happened just now was merely an accident. We can't stop living just because of one mishap, right? We still need to earn our money. Ding Xiang was completely defeated by his reasoning and could only lead everyone onward. They passed through a secluded alley and entered a large courtyard, which was brightly lit and bustling with noise, as if they had stepped into another world. Everywhere they looked, there were raw stones, at least hundreds of them. Many people had come to view the stones, and even Chen Yang also saw an old acquaintance, Kita Xiaoi. Indeed, he was the one who helped Ding Qiufeng in an attempt to defeat Ding Xiang, a master of gambling stones known as the Master of Divine Eyes. Currently, he was using the alias Tian Xiaoi. No one knew that he was from a certain country, and even fewer knew his true purpose for getting close to the Ding family. Ding Xiang's expression darkened as she spotted her competitor, Ding Qiufeng. Oh, my sister Ding Xiang. You're here to play too. I thought you'd be crying into your pillow tomorrow, knowing you would definitely lose. Ding Qiufeng was tall and thin, almost as if a gust of wind could blow him away, yet his gaze was sharp and contained a hint of malice. Ding Xiang coldly smiled. Ding Qiufeng, don't get too smug. Do you think that with the assistance of the Master of Divine Eyes, victory is assured? Ding Qiufeng stood proudly. Isn't it? Ding Xiang dismissed him with a scoff. You have a master helping you, but I have a skilled expert on my side as well. Who will win is anyone's guess. Ding Qiufeng chuckled. Let's not engage in a war of words. Why don't we see whose mysterious expert is more formidable, yours or my Master of Divine Eyes? How about a live competition? Ding Xiang sneered. How do we compete? Ding Qiufeng glanced at the master of divine eyes, seeing his confident demeanor, and felt reassured. The two experts will select stones on site. Whoever picks stones with greater value wins. Ding Xiang shook her head. That's unreasonable. It should be whoever picks stones with the highest profit margin wins. This is to prevent anyone from cheating by simply buying the highest priced raw stone, as those often have a higher chance of being valuable. Ding Qiufeng laughed. All right, but since it's a competition, there has to be some stakes involved. I suggest a bet of 100 million. What do you think? Ding Xiang felt distressed. She realized Ding Qiufeng was aiming for this. His capital was already stronger than hers. If she lost 100 million tonight, she would have even less confidence in tomorrow's bidding, and her chances of winning would decrease further. Seeing Ding Xiang hesitate, Ding Qiufeng burst into laughter. What? Are you scared? If you aren't willing to bet, then don't compete. You don't have to participate in tomorrow's stone gambling competition either. Ding Xiang's face turned sour, her anger palpable. Suddenly, Qin Yang stood up. I'll take on this competition. Ding Qiufeng was a bit surprised. How could this guy not follow the plan? He dared to make decisions on such a significant matter? He sneered dismissively. Kid, do you have a stake of 100 million? I'll cover the bet. Ding Xiang resolutely spoke up, stepping in to support Qin Yang. She estimated that Qin Yang's total assets should be just over 100 million. However, she could not allow him to risk his entire fortune on a single bet. Ha! Ding Qiufeng was overjoyed. Great, it's settled then. Wait. Qin Yang suddenly interrupted him, gently patting Ding Xiang on the shoulder. Xiang, keep your money for tomorrow's bidding. I've made some small profits recently, so even if I lose 100 million, it won't be a complete disaster. Besides, with my ability, making money isn't a big deal, right? I'm very confident that this time, I will make a big profit again. Ding Xiang was very touched. This risk could be completely avoided by Qin Yang if he just wanted to gamble on stones. He could simply buy whichever piece he was interested in, and there wouldn't be a risk of losing 100 million. However, Qin Yang shook his head. There's nothing to worry about. I'm very confident. Ding Qiufeng laughed even louder. How ridiculous. You have confidence? Does having confidence mean you can win? To be on the safe side, I suggest both parties hand over 100 million to a middleman. The results will be settled immediately. Qin Yang nodded. This proposal was exactly what he wanted. Great. The two parties immediately proceeded to transfer 100 million to the middleman's account. Once the winner was determined, the money would be transferred without any chance of reneging. Everything was ready, and the middleman announced the start. There was a time limit of 30 minutes to buy the most profitable raw stone in the venue, and then crack it open on the spot. Ding Qiufeng was racing against time, immediately bringing along a master to the semi-gambling area. The raw materials that had been opened had less gambling risk. One could see some clues. It was the easiest way to select the top piece in the venue. Ding Xiang, Liu Cixi, and Su Youlan were all very nervous. This was a high-stakes gamble with a wager of 100 million. Although they had money, losing 100 million casually would still be a significant blow. Now, Ding Qiufeng had the advantage. If he bought the best-performing piece from the semi-gambling area, Qin Yang's chances of winning would be extremely slim. They were all very worried. Qin Yang, you should also go to the semi-gambling area to pick something. Otherwise, it will be too late. Ding Xiang urged him. However, Qin Yang seemed unconcerned. It's fine. Let them pick theirs, and we'll pick ours. Seeing Qin Yang's calm demeanor, the women didn't know whether to call him foolish or admire his composure. Under the encouragement of the women, Qin Yang also took a stroll around the semi-gambling area. There were indeed several good pieces of raw material. He took note of them secretly, and then went to the fully gambling area to look for that piece he had been thinking about. Unfortunately, after searching for a long time, he didn't find a single piece that caught his eye. Qin Yang began to sweat. Ding Xiang noticed something was off. Qin Yang, are you okay? Liu Cixi and Su Youlan also looked at him, feeling uneasy. This was a matter of a 100 million wager. It had to be taken seriously. Qin Yang wiped his forehead and forced a smile. I'm fine, just a bit tired. Xiao Yue quickly took out a tissue from her bag and carefully helped Qin Yang wipe the sweat. The pretty girl Ting Ting also handed him a bottle of water. After taking a sip, Qin Yang felt much better. Just at that moment, Tang Tianzi walked in with a few people, excited to hear about a big gamble. Upon seeing Qin Yang, he quickly came over to greet him. Brother Chen, it's you. Qin Yang responded with a smile. Does Mr. Tang also enjoy betting on stones? Tang Tianzi laughed. Who in Kaiyun City, especially at a stone gambling convention, doesn't like to play? But my skills are quite average. I lose 9 out of 10 times. Since you are an expert in this field, could you help me pick a stone? Ding Xiang, who was nearby, hesitated to speak. Qin Yang had a time limit on his bet with Ding Qiufeng, 30 minutes to select the raw stone. If he failed, it would be over. If Qin Yang helped Tang Tianzi pick a stone, he might run out of time. Qin Yang subtly gestured to stop Ding Xiang from speaking. Tang Tianzi held a significant position. Whether in the underworld or in business, connections were crucial. All right, since Mr. Tang thinks highly of me, I'll help you pick one. Whether it appreciates or not depends on your luck, Qinyang said. Tang Tianze laughed heartily. Great. I look forward to your judgment. Qinyang continued searching in the gambling area, but still couldn't find what he was looking for. However, he managed to select a decent stone for Tang Tianze. Mr. Tang, how about this one? He pointed to a large stone. Tang Tianze approached for a closer look, but found nothing particularly special. Nonetheless, being generous, he accepted it with a smile. All right, since you think it's good, we'll take it. They proceeded to complete the purchase and had the staff cut the stone on site. Qinyang didn't follow, but instead hurried to search for his target. At that moment, he moved to the semi-gambling area and found that Gui Tianshao Air had already chosen his stones, including the one Qinyang had noted as the most valuable. Ding Xiufeng was quite pleased. How about that? I've chosen mine. You have no chance left. Give up. The master of divine sight said that whatever you choose can't earn as much as mine. It's priced at 8 million and can at least yield 80 million in jade. That's a profit of 72 million. Do you still have hope? Qinyang felt a bit regretful. If he had known, he should have marked that stone before searching for his target. Who would have thought that Gui Tianshao Air, this master of divine sight, truly had some skill? In no time, he had selected the best raw material from the semi-gambling area. Now, Qinyang was worried that if he took too long, that super raw stone might be bought by someone else. If that happened, he would suffer a huge loss today, missing out on a big score and losing 100 million. He'd be left with nothing. Suddenly, a commotion arose from a distance. Qinyang walked over to see that Tang Tianze's stone had appreciated significantly. Onlookers, including jade merchants, were bidding the highest price, 50 million. Tang Tianze was extremely happy and made the deal right there. Brother Chun, here's 25 million. Since the raw stone has appreciated, let's split it. As he handed over a bank card, Qinyang shook his head. Mr. Tang, this is what I selected for you. Regardless of whether it results in a loss or a gain, it's all yours. Tang Tianze didn't expect that Qinyang, just a bodyguard, would push away such a huge sum of 25 million without a moment's hesitation. After a brief moment of doubt, Tang Tianze decided to retract the bank card. Since you, Brother Chun, are not accepting it, I, Old Tang, want to be overly polite. However, today I've witnessed your capabilities and vision. You will surely soar to great heights and shine brightly in the future. I've decided to be friends with you. Tang Tianze extended his hand again, this time with both hands, grasping one of Qinyang's hands, which held significant meaning. At this moment, the intermediary timely reminded them that there were only 5 minutes left in the competition. Qinyang needed to select the raw stone quickly, otherwise, if time ran out and he hadn't made a selection, it would be considered an automatic forfeiture, resulting in a direct loss of 100 million. Chapter 107. Is this thing even considered a raw stone? Aren't you afraid of losing 100 million? As soon as Tang Tianze heard this, he immediately released Qinyang's hand, feeling guilty for wasting his time. Hurry up and choose. I believe you can win. Qinyang smiled, appearing not too anxious. The scene at this moment was quite amusing. Tang Tianze, along with Ding Xiang, Lu Sisi, and Su Yulan, followed closely behind Qinyang, each of them looking tense and afraid to breathe. Meanwhile, Qinyang walked leisurely with his hands in his pockets, casually strolling among a pile of raw stones. Ding Xiufeng and Gui Tianshao were already laughing joyfully, having chosen the best semi-gambling materials, while Qinyang was still empty-handed. In the final second, even if Qinyang chose a piece, it would surely be a random pick. What chance did he have? Oh no! Ding Xiufeng, in a moment of joy turned to dismay, felt his leg scrape against a stone base nearby. Looking down, he saw blood and a piece of skin had come off. He kicked out in frustration. Damn it! What the hell? A broken stone dares to hurt me? Ding Xiufeng, feeling unsatisfied, kicked it several more times, but the large, heavy stone base remained unmoved. He cursed but felt helpless. He was human, after all, not a beast. He couldn't possibly hold a grudge against a stone. However, Qinyang's eyes lit up as he quickly walked over to the stone base, squatted down, and gently touched it, seemingly to comfort the injured stone. Ding Xiufeng couldn't help but laugh. Have you lost your mind, caring for a stone? In my opinion, since you haven't picked a stone, you might as well choose it. Misery loves company, right? Ding Xiang shot him a glare and retorted, Ding Xiufeng, you're the one who's lost it. This is just a stone base. Is it a raw stone? Ding Xiufeng replied with a strange tone, as long as it's a stone, it can be considered a raw stone. The only difference is that my stone can produce jadeite, while yours can't. Ha! Ding Xiang was so angry she couldn't speak. Qinyang had been feeling the stone for quite a while. Suddenly looking up, he turned to the shopkeeper. Boss, do you sell this stone base? What's the price? The shopkeeper was dumbfounded. Someone actually wanted to buy a stone base? These people must be outsiders, completely clueless about stone betting. They thought any stone could yield jade. This piece of stone was originally brought over larger than this. In the end, it was cut into 8 pieces, none of which had any jade quality. It was just an ordinary stone mixed in with the raw stones. Is there really someone who wants such a stone? The shopkeeper chuckled. Sir, this stone base wasn't T for sale. But since you're interested, I want T say 1 million. How about you take it for 800,000? Qinyang clapped his hands, as if completing a task. All right, finally picked one. Let us settle the payment. Immediately, he proceeded with the purchase. Ding Xiang was anxious. Qinyang, why are you buying a worthless stone? The other party's stone is worth at least 80 million. If you buy this worthless stone, you're definitely losing. Qinyang shook his head helplessly. There's no way. The best piece has already been picked. No matter which piece I buy now, it's a loss. I'd rather end this early and go back to sleep. Ding Xiang was so angry she stomped her feet, trembling all over. Lu Sisi and the other women also looked worried. The loss wasn't just 800,000, but 100 million. Most people wouldn't earn that much money in their lifetime. Tang Tianzi looked at Qinyang, feeling perplexed yet oddly expectant. This young brother was becoming more interesting. Ding Qiufeng was already impatient. As long as the stone was right, he could make an easy profit of 100 million and also slap Ding Xiang in the face. How satisfying. Kamita Koji also wore a smug expression, this time assisting the young master of the Ding family. If Ding Qiufeng successfully rose to power and utilized the Ding family's connections, he could discreetly transport a large number of cultural treasures from the Dragon Country back to the small island nation. At that time, he would be a hero in the small island nation. Calling over the stone cutter, Ding Qiufeng was the first to have a stone cut. Countless people gathered to watch, including jade enthusiasts, tourists, and numerous jade merchants. This raw stone was the best selected by Master Qinyang from hundreds of pieces. It was said to be worth at least 80 million. Everyone was filled with anticipation, eager to see what such an expensive raw stone concealed inside. With the machine whirring, the raw stone was cut open. As the first cut was made, green was revealed. Kamita Koji drew a line on the other side. After cutting, he had the stone cutter polish the stone. A beautifully exquisite jade raw stone was fully revealed before everyone. It's up. It's skyrocketing. Wow. I've never seen such a pure color before. I'll offer 60 million. Sell it to me. Get lost. How stingy. Such a good jade. And you offer 60 million? I'll offer 80 million. Stop fighting. I'll offer 90 million. Ding Qiufeng's smile was crooked. The highest bid on site reached 90 million. The starting price was 8 million, giving him a profit of 82 million. He was guaranteed to win against Qinyang. Gu Tianxiao'er also showed a lewd smile. This battle once again proved that the Master of Divine Eyes lived up to his name. His reputation would become even more prominent in the Dragon Kingdom. Undoubtedly a case of both fame and fortune. Step aside, it's my turn, Qinyang said boldly, pushing Ding Qiufeng and Gu Tianxiao'er aside to leave space for Ding Xiang, Lu Sisi, Su Yulan, Tang Tianzi, and others. Everyone was skeptical of Qinyang's stone, but patiently awaited the final outcome. With a slicing sound, the stone master revealed a look of disappointment. There was not a hint of green. One cut to heaven, one cut to hell. It truly holds. Lu Sisi sighed. Ding Qiufeng's stone yielded a profit of over 80 million with one cut, while Qinyang's stone resulted in an 800,000 loss, plus an additional 100 million lost. This was Qinyang. If it were someone else, they might have been driven to despair. Take the stone out, I'll draw a line for you. Qinyang remained calm. However, everyone on site felt he was just putting on a brave face. Who could stay composed in the face of a 100 million bet? Master, wait a moment. For the left half, cut it and throw it away. The right half, don't cut anymore, just wipe around it, Qinyang instructed. The stone master was puzzled. What is the point of wiping a worthless stone? Just slice it into 8 pieces and be done with it. Nevertheless, he had to meet the customer's request. Even if it was a worthless stone, if the customer wanted to play with it, they had to cooperate. The stone cutting continued as per Qinyang's instructions. Another cut was made, and still no green appeared. Sigh, the crowd was very disappointed. This stone was 99 wasted. Now, if sold, would anyone pay 100 bucks for it? The stone master patiently began to wipe the stone. Suddenly, the machine stopped. After rinsing with water, the stone master's expression changed dramatically. He blinked and rubbed his eyes, as if he had seen a ghost. Has it increased? Ding Xiang asked eagerly. All eyes were on them. The stone master did not answer. He wiped away sweat and followed Qinyang's instructions, wiping each edge of the large stone. A miraculous scene unfolded. That large stone reflected green on every side. Moreover, judging by the water content and quality, it was undoubtedly top-grade jade. The crowd was astounded. Gu Tianxiao'er could hardly believe it, directly leaning over the stone for a closer look. After a moment, he stood up, his expression stiff and dazed. Murmuring to himself, Imperial Green. Imperial Green. Ding Xiang was stunned. She leaned in for a closer look. Wow, it really is Imperial Green. Qinyang, you've struck it rich. Everyone on site was eager to watch. Many had never seen such a large piece of Imperial Green jade before. Tang Tianzi was also quite surprised. I have seen countless exquisite jade pieces, but this was truly my first time seeing such a large piece of imperial green. Wealthy jade merchants began to bid. Oh my, I'll offer 300 million. This piece of imperial green is mine. Nonsense. I'll bid 500 million. No one better try to compete with me. The highest bidder wins. I bid 600 million. Listening to these bids, Chunyang felt a surge of excitement. Such sounds were even more thrilling than some other calls. Each increase was in the hundreds of millions. This kind of bidding should never stop. Unfortunately, when the bidding reached 700 million, the excitement had passed, and enthusiasm began to wane. At this price, it was hard to say how much could be earned after processing the raw stone. Ding Xiang also wanted to make a move. The Ding family's jade stores are spread both domestically and internationally, requiring a large supply, especially of top-quality goods. These not only sell well, but also elevate the brand status, making them very popular wherever they go. Unfortunately, her funds were reserved for tomorrow's bidding and couldn't be easily touched. 880 million. Tang Tianzi suddenly called out the highest bid in the room. No one dared to bid further. Xinyang curiously asked, Brother Tang, do you also deal in jade? Tang Tianzi smiled. The Tang family business is quite diversified, not large, but they dabble in various fields. That's great, Xinyang readily agreed. Brother Tang, it's a deal. However, as old friends, let us consider it 800 million, and I'll treat you to tea. 800 million flat. Let's make money together. Tang Tianzi was astonished. He had already thought highly of Xinyang, but he didn't expect him to give such a big surprise. 800 million. Just like that? What kind of mindset is this? If Xinyang were a top noble born into wealth, it would be understandable for him to be indifferent to money. However, Xinyang was just a small bodyguard from an ordinary background. It was hard for Tang Tianzi to believe that someone like him could achieve great success in the future. At least, from this moment on, in Tang Tianzi's mind, Xinyang's image was very impressive and absolutely worth befriending. He could be a good friend in life and a business partner as well. Tang Tianzi was quite wealthy. 800 million in liquid funds could be transferred instantly. In less than half an hour, the funds arrived. Are you the little jade god? Finally, a middle-aged wealthy man recognized Xinyang's identity. He had just come from the stone-cutting shop to this grand estate. Little jade god? He has such an impressive title? Someone nearby asked curiously. The middle-aged wealthy man immediately recounted the events that had occurred at the stone-cutting shop in vivid detail. The crowd was in an uproar. Who would have thought there was such an impressive person? Now that he had chosen a super piece of imperial green, it only further proved his strength. Little jade god. Little jade god. The crowd on site was emotionally charged. They witnessed a person making an astonishing profit of 800 million in an instant. If someone were to say he is the reincarnation of a wealth god, everyone present would believe it. The pursuit of wealth is a shared obsession for all. Xinyang was all smiles. Tang Tianzi felt satisfied. Ding Xiang was beaming with joy. Lu Sisi, Su Yulan, Xiaoya, and Ting Ting were still in shock, unable to believe it. Overnight, Xinyang made 800 million. He also gained an impressive title. The little jade god? Handsome and elegant? Incredible brother loss. Kuaitian Xiaoyi's eyes were fixed on Xinyang. If looks could kill, Xinyang would have been dead 100 times over. Xinyang obtained his title by stepping on his head. From today onward, the Master of Divine Eyes will no longer be a match for the little jade god, becoming a humorous anecdote in the jade industry. Yet for Kuaitian Xiaoyi, it was a lifelong humiliation. Ding Qiufeng was disheartened. He hated himself. He hated his legs even more. He pounded them with his fists, wishing he could chop them off. Why? Why did he kick it? If he hadn't kicked it, Xinyang wouldn't have chosen it. He also hated his own big mouth. If he hadn't suggested that Xinyang pick it, how could Xinyang have soared? Losing 100 million now was trivial. Where would he put the face of the esteemed Ding family? From now on, in the martial world, whenever the little jade god is mentioned, people will think of the esteemed Ding. He became a mere backdrop, a negative example, a laughingstock. In this battle, Ding Qiufeng lost 100 million, leaving with Kuaitian Xiaoyi in disgrace. Xinyang earned 800 million from gambling on stones, with a total profit of 900 million. Calculating it out, Xinyang's total assets have surpassed 1 billion, reaching 7 billion. The Moon Bay Grand Hotel is secured. Ding gained 10 points. Current total, 270 points. Keep it up. A major leak was successfully obtained, granting a reward of 10 points. Xinyang was very pleased, earning money while accumulating points. Both hands must be strong. That night, everyone was excited, but Xinyang still advised them to rest early. It was getting late, and there were important matters tomorrow. Lu Sisi and Su Yulan had performances in the morning. Ding Xiang had a public auction in the morning and a private auction opening in the afternoon. This was the real battle. After a good night's sleep, Xinyang woke up refreshed. He checked today's intelligence. Ding. Today's intelligence refreshed. Intelligence 1. Ding Qiufeng is financially strong and aims to secure the top 3 in the public auction. Intelligence 2. Fong Haoyan's identity has been exposed. preparing to flee abroad. Intelligence 3. Su Yulan's contract is expiring, and she is reluctant to renew it, feeling troubled. Xinyang quickly reviewed and reacted. During breakfast, he reminded Dingxiang. The top 3 stones performing best in today's public auction have already been reserved by Ding Qiufeng. He is wealthy and willing to spend lavishly. Don't confront him directly. Instead, use indirect tactics. Spend a little to earn a lot. The final outcome of the competition is determined by who can make more money with the least cost and risk. Dingxiang nodded in agreement, curious to ask, "What indirect tactics are you planning to use?" Xinyang smiled mysteriously. As the saying goes, it cannot be spoken. Anyway, you will find out soon enough. Chapter 109. You are wealthy. I will take small risks for big rewards. Ding. Gain 10 points. Current total, 280 points. Keep it up. Successfully utilized a piece of information again, earning 10 points. Points are continuously accumulating. After finishing breakfast, Xinyang took the opportunity to find a secluded place and called Hey Hu. "Brother Hu, how is the investigation going? Has that foreigner confessed yet?" Hey Hu replied, "Almost." Xinyang kindly reminded him, "Brother Hu, you must be cautious. The Fong family has very keen ears. With so much happening, they are sure to notice. They might make a quick decision and flee overseas." Hey Hu pondered for a moment. "I understand. I will definitely have someone keep an eye on them. This group of traitors must not be allowed to escape." After hanging up the phone, Ding. Gained 10 points. Current total, 290 points. Keep it up. Another 10 points earned. Xinyang certainly would not complain about more. On the way to the Gambling Stone conference, Xinyang made a special call to Su Yulan. "Has your contract with the entertainment company expired?" Su Yulan replied, "Yes, I'm worried about it." Seizing the opportunity, Xinyang suggested, "I think, since you are a popular actress, why not start your own entertainment company and be your own boss?" Su Yulan smiled wryly. "Not everyone can be a boss. We have to shoot every day and take on jobs. Sometimes it's quite busy, and we may not have time for management. Moreover, starting a company requires a lot of money and connections. Without solid relationships, it's difficult to do anything." Xinyang continued to persuade her. "I think you could discuss it with Lu Cici, join forces, and start a company together. Many hands make light work. It might not be so difficult." Su Yulan questioned, "But Cici's contract isn't up yet. How can she leave?" Xinyang replied mysteriously, "I predict that Howen Entertainment is about to go bankrupt. Cici will soon be free." Su Yulan was taken aback. "Really? Let me think about it." After hanging up, Ding. Gained 10 points. Current total, 300 points. Keep pushing. In a short while, Xinyang earned 30 points. His principle is to not miss any opportunity. At 8 o'clock a.m., the opening performance of the Gambling Stone Conference officially began. Lu Cici and Su Yulan both had performances. Xinyang and Dingxiang found a place to sit. Coincidentally, Ding Qiufeng and Koetian Koji were seated not far away. The competition yesterday allowed you to win by luck. Today's bidding, however, your good fortune may have run out. Today, Ding Qiufeng seems a bit different. His demeanor is quite arrogant, exuding confidence. Xinyang feels something is off. "Xiang, do you feel that Ding Qiufeng is acting unusually?" Dingxiang thinks for a moment. It seems he is certain of winning. Xinyang reminds her, "We must prevent him from pulling any tricks." Dingxiang confirms again. "Have you thought of strategies for both the open and secret bids?" Xinyang nods. "It's fine, just prepare the funds. As long as we secure those specific raw stones, the rest is up to him. We'll spend a little to achieve a big result, and we will definitely win." Dingxiang regains her confidence. "All right, I'll follow your lead." In the blink of an eye, the performance ends, and the open bidding officially begins. As Ding Qiufeng passes by Dingxiang, he coldly smiles. "Sister Ding, I advise you not to participate in this round of bidding. Otherwise, you will be deemed untrustworthy and permanently banned from future events." Personal dishonesty is minor, but tarnishing the Ding family's reputation is a serious offense. After saying this, he turns and leaves. Xinyang and Dingxiang are left puzzled. After thinking for a long time, Dingxiang suddenly asks her assistant, "Is our funding in place?" The assistant immediately checks the accounts and finds that the funds originally allocated for this competition have mysteriously vanished. "Miss, the money is gone." Dingxiang is both shocked and angry. She immediately calls her father. "Dad, where did the special funds you prepared for me go?" Dingxiang's father, Ding Yinhai, is equally taken aback. "Wait a moment, let me check." A moment later, Ding Yinhai calls back. "Sai, this money was temporarily reallocated by your second uncle for other projects." Dingxiang is both furious and anxious. How could second uncle do this? Is he really willing to go this far, just to help Ding Qiufeng? Ding Yinhai sighs again. The second branch has lost for decades and is quite resentful. Their mindset is poor, and they are becoming desperate. Dingxiang quickly asks, "What about my funds? The auction is about to start. Without money, how can I bid?" Ding Yinhai helplessly sighs. "I can help you gather funds, but it will take at least 2 hours." Dingxiang is almost in tears. "In 2 hours, the open bidding will be over. How can I compete? I might as well give up." Ding Xiang hangs up the phone and can't help but cry softly. Woo-woo, for this competition, to fulfill my grandfather's wishes, I have sacrificed so much and worked so hard. Yet at this critical moment, I've been set up. How can I accept this? Qin Yang stands by and softly comforts her. Xiang, don't worry. There might still be a turning point. Ding Xiang looks up with tear-filled eyes. What other options do we have? Qin Yang smiles and says, according to my strategy, we don't actually need to compete head-on with Ding Qiufeng. The scale of funds needed won't be very large. I estimate that at most 500 million will be enough. Ding Xiang feels like crying again. However, I don't even have 500 million. Qin Yang pointed at himself. You don't have it, but I do. Ding Xiang quickly shook her head. How can I use your money? What if we lose 500 million? Qin Yang was full of confidence. It's fine, it's just passing through. Trust me, we definitely won't lose. Ding Xiang hesitated a bit. Is it really no problem? Qin Yang nodded. Absolutely no problem. Ding Xiang suddenly threw herself into Chun Yang's arms. Xiaoyang Gu, thank you so much. Otherwise, the little girl, lost in thought, was about to cry again. 3 minutes later, they participated in the auction for the Mingbiao. There were a total of 100 items up for auction. Starting from the 100th item and proceeding in order, bids were called out on site, and the highest bidder won. Among them, from the window effect, the original stones numbered 1, 2, and 3 had the highest value. They were likely to become the top bids. However, the starting prices were also quite astonishing. 30 million for item 3, 50 million for item 2, and 90 million for item 1. After bidding, the prices would surely increase significantly. Since Ding Qiufeng was determined to win, Qin Yang's strategy was to avoid the spotlight and directly give up on the top 3 bids. Instead, he focused on selecting cheaper and better options from the remaining 97 items. He had his eye on items 8, 25, 33, 45, 88, and 91, totaling 6 original stones. The starting prices for these stones were not high. Item 91 at 20,000, item 88 at 30,000, item 45 at 50,000, item 33 at 60,000, item 25 at 100,000, and item 8 at 500,000. During the auction of other original stones, Qin Yang had Ding Xiang continuously raise her paddle to drive up the prices, aiming to deplete the funds of other buyers, especially Ding Qiufeng's. Since he had plenty of money, let him spend it. The more he spent, the greater the surprises would be later. According to the competition rules, the more Ding Qiufeng spent, the higher his cost and risk, leading to more deductions when calculating the results. Ding Xiang, with insufficient funds, could only play to her strengths, making small investments for big returns to achieve high scores. As the auction continued, and it was time for the 6 original stones Qin Yang was interested in, he initially did not place any bids. At the last moment, he struck hard and defeated his opponents. In the end, these 6 original stones were acquired at relatively low prices. Item 91 sold for 120,000, item 88 for 350,000, item 45 for 420,000, item 33 for 580,000, item 25 for 860,000, and item 8 for 1 million. They spent less than 5 million to secure 6 top-quality original stones. When the auction reached the top 3 bids, Qin Yang had Ding Xiang fiercely follow the bids, driving each price up to astronomical levels. At this moment, having 500 million in funds proved to be essential. If Ding Qiufeng suddenly gave up and unexpected circumstances arose during the bidding, there was a chance for their side to win by luck amidst the price inflation. One must have money to make a real purchase. Therefore, during the bidding process, it is important to observe the other party's reactions at all times and also consider the true value of the raw stones. One cannot inflate the price too much to avoid being stuck with them. In the end, the third raw stone was sold for 2.5 billion, the second for 4.9 billion, and the first for a staggering 5.5 billion. Ding Qiufeng spent 12.9 billion to acquire the 3 top stones. During the bidding, Ding Qiufeng was furious at Ding Xiang's price increases. Now that he successfully secured the 3 top lots, he felt quite pleased. Look, I have money. What do you have to compete with me? However, Gui Tianxiao Air was a bit worried. Young Master Ding, these 3 stones are good, but Ding Qiufeng was somewhat displeased. But what? Gui Tianxiao Air whispered. I'm worried that we may not be able to bet on a price increase. Ding Qiufeng waved his hand dismissively. Impossible. These 3 are all high-quality materials. How could we lose? Gui Tianxiao Air looked bitter. It should have been a sure bet on a price increase. But with all this interference, the prices have skyrocketed. Now, whether we can bet on an increase is really uncertain. The open bidding ended. Some chose to break the stones on site, while others took them back to do so. Because Ding Xiang and Ding Qiufeng's stones were part of a competition, they had to break them on site. In the end, Ding Xiang only secured 6 raw stones, spending 43 million and cutting out top-quality jade worth 3.5 billion. resulting in a total profit of 557 billion. Ding Xiaofeng bought 28 raw stones, spending 13.5 billion but only cutting out jade worth 1.3 billion, resulting in a loss of 50 million. The scene erupted in astonishment. Qin Yang and Lu Sisi were all happy for Ding Xiang. Ding Xiang was beaming with joy. Uncle Ming wore a strange expression, wanting to cry but not daring to. Wanting to laugh but unable to. Ding Xiaofeng was completely dumbfounded. Impossible. I clearly won. How could I lose? I secured the 3 top lots. How could I possibly have a loss? She only bought 6 small stones and made a profit of 3.5 billion. What kind of logic is this? Gui Tianxiao's face was as dark as a pot bottom. After years of stone gambling, this was his first time being so embarrassed. Suddenly, he perked up. Young Master Ding, don't be disheartened. We still have the private lots. There are only 100 open lots, but 500 private lots. That's where the real money is. The key to victory lies in the private lots. Ding Xiaofeng regained his fighting spirit. Right, let's add a 50 premium on the private lots. And we can secure at least half of them. And Ding Xiang's private lots are all set by Uncle Ming. She won't get a single one. At noon, everyone gathered for a meal. Ding Xiang was worried. Brother Xiaoyang, do you think we have a chance of winning the private lots this afternoon? Qin Yang enjoyed being called that. He shook his head. No way. He glanced at Uncle Ming, who was eating at another table, and whispered. Your private lot bids were all finalized by Uncle Ming. I can assert that none will win the bid. Ding Xiang was both surprised and disappointed. How could this happen? Do you doubt Mingshu? Qin Yang nodded. I have long suspected him, but I kept it to myself, wanting to use him to continue deceiving Ding Xiaofeng. Now that everything has settled, I'm telling you. However, for now, it's best not to expose it. Let us deal with it when we return to Jiangxing to avoid complications. Ding Xiang nodded but was still very worried. As for the dark bids, Qin Yang smiled to reassure her. It's fine. My 20 dark bids are sure to win. Ding Xiang was skeptical. How can you be so sure that all 20 will win? Lu Sisi also raised a question. Even if they all win, with 500 dark bids, how much impact will 20 have? Can it really turn the tide? It seems unlikely. Right? Qin Yang merely smiled and didn't explain. Everything will depend on the outcome. In the afternoon, the dark bids were opened. Ding Xiaofeng advanced through all the stages and secured a total of 120 dark bids, becoming the biggest winner of the day. Everyone on site cheered for him. He was filled with pride. This time, I will definitely redeem myself. Let Ding Xiang and Qin Yang see my power. Gu Tianxiao was also full of confidence. Securing this many dark bids was absolutely a sure thing. However, seeing that Ding Xiang had cleverly maneuvered while secretly securing 20 dark bids still surprised them. They shot a glare at Mingshu. Mingshu, startled, shrank his head back. It's unfair. I don't even know what is going on. What's frustrating is that Qin Yang's 20 dark bids coincidentally had prices that were only slightly higher than Ding Xiaofeng's bids. A few hundred, a few thousand. At most 10,000. Several of them only increased by 1 yuan. It's truly infuriating. Ding Xiaofeng felt a sense of humiliation, as if he was being forced into this situation. Damn it. I will definitely make you pay. Hurry up and open the stones. I want to slap your face right now. As the stones were being opened, Ding Xiaofeng and Gu Tianxiao's moods fluctuated wildly. One moment they were extremely excited. The next they were dejected. After countless torturous moments, the results finally came out. The 120 dark bids cost 5.8 billion and yielded jade worth 6.1 billion. With a total profit of 300 million, which was basically a failed investment. Ding Xiang's 20 raw stones cost 460 million and yielded jade worth 7.8 billion. With a total profit of 734 million. This was definitely a huge gain. A massive profit. Yay! Ding Xiang jumped up and cheered loudly. She even grabbed Qin Yang's face and gave him a fierce kiss. Xiaoyang, thank you. I will repay you. Lu Sisi, Su Yulan. And the other women were also happy for her, but when they noticed Qin Yang being kissed so forcefully, their expressions changed. Seeing Ding Xiang so joyful, they held back their reactions, forming a stark contrast to the cheers over there. Ding Xiaofeng, on the other hand, smashed his cup and kicked his chair, throwing a fit. His subordinates were so frightened that they didn't dare to breathe. Kamada Koji hesitantly offered his advice. Young Master Ding, perhaps we haven't lost yet. Ding Xiaofeng glared with bloodshot eyes and harshly scolded, Idiot! Speak quickly, what other tricks do we have? If this time it doesn't work, get as far away as you can. Kamada Koji was furious and cursed him silently 1,000 times in his heart, but on the surface, he still maintained his respect. Young Master, with so much cargo from Miss Ding, there will definitely be a dedicated vehicle for transport. As long as we... He gestured across his throat, a fierce glint flashing in his eyes. Chapter 111. Recruiting experts. Talents are hard to find at the stone gambling event. Both the open and hidden bids were a complete victory for the Dings. Cornered, Ding Xiaofeng decided to take a risk and act as a robber. However, on certain details, Ding Xiufeng and Kamida Koji had significant disagreements. Ding Xiufeng's idea was to only rob the goods and not kill anyone, while Kamida Koji aimed to rob the goods and kill too, reasoning that leaving no witnesses would allow them to frame others and prevent any information leaks from Ding Ling. Ding Xiufeng couldn't shake off suspicion and would be in trouble. Of course, this was just a superficial reason. The real motive was that Kamida Koji wanted to infiltrate the Ding family and gain more influence through Ding Xiufeng, eliminating the voices of others as much as possible. Ding Ling, as a third-generation heir with great potential, would undoubtedly be a significant obstacle in the future. The sooner she was removed, the better. In the end, Ding Xiufeng was persuaded by Kamida Koji to decide to eliminate all witnesses. Master Xinyan, I have a limited number of capable hands at my disposal, and I'm afraid it won't be foolproof. Ding Xiufeng expressed some concern. Kamida Koji patted his chest confidently. Young Master Ding, don't worry. I will help you find people. They are all experts, guaranteed to wipe them all out. Once the plan was completed, Ding Xiufeng approached Ding Ling with a smile, pretending to be generous. Congratulations, Sister Ding, on winning the first phase and securing 10 of the treasure pavilion. Ding Ling felt puzzled. Is this really Ding Xiufeng? Her expression remained calm as she replied, thank you for your kind words. Ding Xiufeng glanced at Chen Yang, revealing a hint of faint ridicule. Kid, just wait to die? That was his inner thought. After Ding Xiufeng left, Chen Yang had a strong premonition of something bad about to happen. Ding, today's intelligence triggered. Intelligence 4. Ding Xiufeng has decided to seize the raw stones during transport. Kamida Koji suggested eliminating all witnesses. Damn, that guy Ding Xiufeng is truly despicable. If he can't win openly, he's resorting to underhanded tactics. Is this how you play the game? Chen Yang cursed in his heart. The most detestable was that little brat. How perverse. Just losing at stone gambling. Is it necessary to kill? Isn't there a code of ethics to not harm lives for wealth? Unfortunately, no matter how displeased he was, what was meant to come would still come. He leaned close to Ding Ling's ear and whispered a reminder. Be cautious of unexpected dangers. In a moment of desperation, one might resort to extreme measures. Along the way, there could be attempts to seize valuable resources. Perhaps, to avoid leaking information. He might resort to silencing anyone involved. The atmosphere shifted for Ding Xiang. Could it be true? Does he have such audacity? Chen Yang said with resentment. Maybe his courage isn't that great, but the master beside him is audacious. Tian Shower will surely make sure there are no survivors. Ding Xiang immediately felt uneasy. It seemed these resources could be snatched at any moment. What should we do? Should I ask the family to send more people over? Chen Yang thought for a moment. There's no need to complicate things. Just follow my plan, and I guarantee they won't return. Ding Xiang felt uncertain. Are you sure this will work? Ding. Gained 10 points. Current total, 310 points. Keep it up. It's not easy. Points have finally surpassed the 300 mark. Let us increase them quickly. There is still so much to do. For example, a lottery to gain shooting skills. Upgrading to expand the personal space a bit more. To store more items for emergencies. This time at Legu Mountain, if it weren't for using lamb and mung beans to bribe ferocious beasts. Not only would I not have saved the black tiger, but I might not have even saved my own life. Thinking of the black tiger, his call came in. Yangzi, the foreign assassin who targeted you has confessed. He was sent by Fong Haoyan, and is also an agent. The dealings between the Fong family and certain entities have been exposed. The Fong family tried to flee but were all intercepted at the airport. Including the entertainment company under their control, all have been sealed. Chen Yang was overjoyed. That is great. Thank you, Tiger Brother, your information is timely. The Black Tiger smiled. This incident has had a severely negative impact. The higher-ups are paying close attention and have given high recognition to all action team members. Our team has achieved results again. I have submitted a commendation report on your behalf, and I believe news will come soon. Chen Yang was also very happy. He didn't have high expectations for his own contributions. There would definitely be a reward. However, that little bonus doesn't mean much to him now. Thank you, Tiger Brother. Gratitude is still necessary. After all, it's a gesture of goodwill, and one cannot be ungrateful, right? Today, Ding Xiang made a fortune. In the evening, she treated everyone to a grand feast. Lu Sisi, Xiao Yu, Su Yulan, and others were all invited. Ming Shu also shamelessly joined to enjoy the celebration. Chen Yang wouldn't expose him, as they still needed this guy to relay information. Sometimes, utilizing the enemy's informants to convey messages is even more effective than one's own. Ding Xiang had already made arrangements. Tomorrow afternoon, she and Chen Yang would personally escort the convoy. Only a few assistants would accompany them. Time, location, route, and who would escort the convoy. Ming Shu knew it all clearly. Everyone enjoyed the meal very much. As they left the hotel, everyone was waiting for a ride at the entrance. Chen Yang suddenly spotted an acquaintance, none other than the strong young man who saved his life last night. Zhou Xiaojing, as a mere security guard. Do you dare compete with me for a woman? A wealthy young man arrogantly questioned, pointing at the strong young man's forehead. Xiaojiang ignored him and turned to a stylishly dressed woman beside him. Xiaomei, did you break up with me for him? The woman linked her arm with the wealthy young man's, wearing a sweet expression. Zhang Xiao promised to buy me a car worth 500,000. Can you afford that? She lifted her handbag, adding, this bag was bought by Zhang Xiao. Do you know how much it costs? 100,000. Can you afford it? Xiaojiang opened his mouth, but couldn't say a word. He can afford it. Qinyang walked over at the right moment, pulled out a bank card from his pocket, and handed it to Xiaojiang. We meet again. Thank you for saving me. This card has 3 million in it, enough to change your life. Xiaojiang looked at Qinyang, surprised. It seemed he didn't expect someone who casually saved a life to be so wealthy. He waved his hand. Thank you. I saved you not for money. He declined Qinyang's offer. Xiaomei looked on in disbelief. Xiaojiang, are you stupid? Why wouldn't you take the money? With 3 million, you could find another girlfriend. But Xiaojiang remained resolute. I saved someone out of goodwill. Accepting money would be inappropriate. Xiaomei was exasperated. You're destined to be single for life. Leaving you was the right decision. With that, she took the wealthy young man's arm and walked into a hotel. Xiaojiang's eyes were filled with sadness, but he gritted his teeth and remained silent. Qinyang understood his feelings. Xiaojiang, thank you. I really appreciate your character. Since you don't want to feel indebted, I'd like to hire you as my employee. The job is in Jiangcheng with an annual salary of 1 million. Would you like to? Qinyang wrote down a phone number and handed it over, his eyes full of expectation. This time, Xiaojiang did not refuse. He reached out to take the number, but didn't agree right away, showing a conflicted expression. I think it might not work out. I have to take care of my dad. It was clear that Xiaojiang was a filial young man. Qinyang found the situation a bit tricky. It's fine. Just consult your father's opinion. As long as he is willing to move to Jiangcheng, I will take care of everything. Xiaojiang shook his head. My dad is very stubborn and not in good health. He definitely wouldn't want to leave. Seeing Qinyang frown, Xiaojiang added, however, I trust you and am willing to work with you. After I go back, I will try to persuade my dad. Qinyang nodded. All right. I'll wait for your good news. On the way back, Ding Xiang was very curious. Why do you value Xiaojiang so much? Offering a salary of 1 million. He's just a small security guard, right? Qinyang smiled. Repaying a life-saving grace is only part of it. I really like this young man. He's honest and straightforward. A gentleman loves wealth, but he obtains it through proper means. The most crucial point is that he is also a skilled individual. Xiaojiang is a junior warrior, which is quite rare. Even seasoned operatives like Black Tiger are only advanced fighters. Of course, Qinyang speculated that this guy might have exaggerated his military capabilities. His true combat strength should be at the junior warrior level. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to hold the position of team leader or even survive this long. At least, during the last perilous situation, he wouldn't have held out until the end. Fortunately, Xiaojiang is still young. With age and increased experience, his strength will definitely improve. As for how much he can improve, it depends on his aptitude and potential. Ding Xiang was puzzled. Is he really skilled? Does he know martial arts? If he knows martial arts, why is he still working as a small security guard? Qinyang nodded and said, that's exactly what I admire about him. He clearly possesses great skills, but is content with an ordinary life. That's a rare quality. With a sigh, he added, what a pity. It seems he won't be able to be of use to me. Such filial piety, sigh? Qinyang sighed and returned to his place. After dinner, Su Yulan and her assistant, Ting Ting, also moved in. They were staying in the same hotel on the same floor. Qinyang took a shower, lay down on the bed, and was about to sleep when the doorbell rang. Ding dong. Ding dong. Who could be looking for me at this hour? Qinyang put on his pajamas and opened the door. Su Yulan stood at the door in her nightgown. Miss Su, do you need something? Su Yulan tightened her clothes and said playfully, what? You just want me to stand outside and talk to you? Qinyang quickly stepped aside. Please come in. Su Yulan quickly dashed into the room, and a faint fragrance filled the air. Qinyang instinctively took a deep breath. The scent of Yulan was refreshing. He casually closed the door but thought about it, and opened it again, feeling it wasn't quite appropriate. In the end, he merely left the door ajar. He poured a glass of water for Su Yulan. One sat on the sofa while the other sat on the bed, both silent. An inexplicable awkwardness permeated the entire room. In the middle of the night, the two young people sat in the hotel room. Especially Su Yulan, who was wearing a thin nightgown, her hair still damp. Her body as curves subtly accentuated. This scene inevitably sparked imagination. Qinyang swallowed hard, feeling a bit hesitant to look at Su Yulan. Every time he glanced up, he found himself unconsciously looking at places he shouldn't. Miss Su, what brings you here so late? At first, Su Yulan was also quite nervous. However, seeing that Qinyang seemed even more nervous than her, she felt an unexpected sense of advantage and relaxed a bit. Today, you helped me solve a huge problem and made me a few million. You asked how I would like to thank you. Her beautiful eyes stared at Qinyang without blinking. His heart raced even faster than before. Based on her tone, does that mean I can make any request? What if I really want something, but the other party is unwilling? That would be so embarrassing. Sweat began to bead on his forehead. Suddenly, Su Yulan burst into laughter, breaking the awkwardness between them. All right, I won't tease you anymore. I came to you tonight because I want to bring you on board. Qinyang was taken aback. Bring me on board? What do you mean? Su Yulan explained. Today, didn't you suggest that I start a company with Lu Sisi? Qinyang nodded. Su Yulan straightened her expression. I thought about it all day, and that suggestion is great. Being our own bosses means we won't be constrained by others. Especially in the entertainment industry, which is such a mixed bag, being able to make our own decisions is crucial. Cece and I can focus on music and film respectively. We both have a certain influence and say in our fields. By joining forces and bringing in some strong and promising talents, we can quickly build an entertainment company. But, she continued, we also have some obvious shortcomings. Without you, we definitely won't succeed. Qinyang was puzzled. Oh, what shortcomings? Why can't you do it without me? Su Yulan explained one by one. First, our funds are limited. Although Cece and I have been famous for many years and earned a decent amount, our expenses are also high with various social engagements, and our savings aren't much. To establish an entertainment company and make it big, we need strong financial support. Otherwise, it will be tough. And you just made a few $100 million. You're a bona fide billionaire. Plus, I see that you have a knack for making money. Your value will only increase in the future. With your support, we can go all out. Qinyang rubbed his temples. I don't think I'm as impressive as you say. Su Yulan insisted seriously. You are? In fact, you might be even more capable. Qinyang sighed. All right, since there's a first, there must be a second and a third, right? Su Yulan nodded. The second point is that our connections are limited. We know quite a few stars and directors in the entertainment industry, and many might give us a little face. But the connections I'm talking about go beyond that. These are just basic relationships. To run a company smoothly and grow strong, we need upper-level connections. Qinyang felt confused. But I'm just an ordinary person without any impressive background. Su Yulan looked at him with a smile. You may not have a background, but you have friends. Tang Tianze, the big boss from Beijing, is a top figure in the circle. He holds you in high regard now. And with that connection, are you still worried about not having a network? Qinyang suddenly understood. Is that really possible? Su Yulan rolled her eyes at him. Do you think anyone can earn Boss Tang's friendship? Many executives from entertainment companies want to curry favor with him. But it's just out of reach. Qinyang shook his head. Well, I didn't get to know Boss Tang because of that. Su Yulan laughed. Of course. Boss Tang knows this, which is why he looks at you differently. What kind of person is he? With a discerning eye. He naturally has his own way of recognizing people. Qinyang quickly waved his hand. Let's not talk about this anymore. I can't sit still if we do. Hee hee. Su Yulan covered her mouth and chuckled. The third point, and the most important one, is that I lack a backbone and lubricant in my collaboration with Cece. Only you can play this role. Qinyang was quite surprised. I can barely understand the backbone part. Lubricant? Is that really necessary? Chapter 113. Can you handle the charm of the Queen of Film? Late at night, in a hotel, in Qinyang's room, the beautiful woman was discussing the necessity of lubricant with him. Su Yulan didn't hesitate. Of course it's necessary. There must be you between Cece and me to ensure smoothness and pleasure. Qinyang felt a bit awkward. Is it appropriate for me to be in between two beautiful women? Do you both really need it? Su Yulan said seriously. We do. I have 3 reasons why it must be you. Qinyang was curious. What are the 3 reasons? Su Yulan nodded. First, sometimes Cece and I inevitably have disagreements. You don't need to doubt this. After so many years of knowing each other, we can easily have conflicts within 3 minutes. At that time, we need someone to mediate, make decisions, and give the final verdict. Second, you are a mutual friend of Cece and me. With you mediating, acting as the backbone, we both respect that. Third, Cece and I both trust you. This is the most important point. Many good friends end up parting ways when doing business together. So, partnering with friends must be done cautiously. Moreover, both Cece and I are beautiful women, and we can't trust just anyone. Only you, we don't worry about. Qinyang couldn't help but ask why. Aren't you afraid that I might have ulterior motives towards you? Su Yulan blushed. Would you? At least Cece shouldn't mind, right? This topic felt a bit hard to continue, so Qinyang quickly brought it back. This matter is a bit sudden. I need to think it over. You also said that many good friends and brothers end up falling out over money. I don't want any misunderstandings between us. Upon hearing this, Su Yulan was unsure whether to feel happy or disappointed and could only nod silently. Miss Su, do you have any other business? Qinyang suddenly asked. Su Yulan was taken aback. Are you trying to rush me away? Qinyang awkwardly rubbed his temples. Miss Su, do you not realize how alluring you are? It's late at night, and you're dressed like this, coming to my room. You have no idea how torturous it is for me every second. Seeing Qinyang's silly expression, Su Yulan deliberately stood up, showcasing her good figure as she slowly walked toward Qinyang. Are you afraid of me? The familiar fragrance acted like a catalyst, causing Qinyang's heart to race instantly. Thump, thump, thump. Qinyang suddenly stood up and walked straight to the door, slamming it shut with a bang. He then quickly locked the door. Turning around fiercely, he looked at the glamorous actress. Su Yulan instinctively wrapped her silk nightgown tighter around herself, accentuating her curves. What do you want? I was just joking, she stammered. Qinyang stepped closer, his expression strange. Too late. Since you have the intention, you might as well not leave tonight. As the distance between them closed, the fragrance intensified. In that moment, Qinyang truly felt moved. Su Yulan panicked. She originally just wanted to tease this adorable younger brother, but unexpectedly, he was so intense. Locking the door like that, what was he planning? If something really happened, how would she explain it? Would anyone say she was taking advantage of this younger brother? Especially Lu Sisi, she would definitely hate her. Su Yulan's little heart raced, almost jumping out of her chest, visibly rising and falling. Qinyang was now just a step away, their breaths audible to each other. On one side was the enchanting fragrance, and on the other was the palpable tension. Suddenly, Su Yulan pushed Qinyang away and fled. Bang! The door swung open and slammed shut behind her. Back in her room, Su Yulan leaned against the door, taking deep breaths to calm her racing heart, only to realize her palms were sweaty and she felt uncomfortable all over. She needed to take a shower. Qinyang was also feeling uneasy, his body hot and restless. He had to practice his techniques to release excess energy, working through the night before finally calming down and falling asleep. The next morning, Qinyang hurriedly washed up and checked the daily intelligence while having breakfast. Ding! Today's intelligence refreshed. Intelligence 1. Su Yulan sincerely hopes you will join her to start a company together. Intelligence 2. Kuwaitian Shower has invited experts from a small island nation, armed and very dangerous. Intelligence 3. Regarding Moonbay Hotel, Zheng Dongshan is worried you don't have 500 million and is considering whether to contact other buyers. Upon seeing the second piece of intelligence, Qinyang felt anxious, knowing that delays could lead to complications. He immediately took out his phone and dialed Zheng Dongshan's number. Boss Zheng, you've been a bit anxious these days, haven't you? Zheng Dongshan didn't expect Qinyang to call suddenly and felt a bit guilty. No. I promised to give you half a month, and I will definitely keep my word. Qinyang laughed. It's okay, I understand your concerns. After all, it's 500 million. Not a small amount. Fortunately, I've already secured it. Once I return, I can complete the transaction immediately. Zheng Dongshan thought he had misheard. Really? 500 million. You got it so quickly? Brother Chen, you're not kidding me, are you? Qinyang became serious. Brother Zheng, such a big deal, would I dare to joke about it? This time, in the stone gambling market, I was quite lucky and made a small profit. Zheng Dongshan was amazed. Brother Chen, you really are the reincarnation of the god of wealth. In just a few days, you made 500 million. At this speed, robbing a bank wouldn't be as fast as you. Qinyang smiled. Now are you at ease? Zheng Dongshan quickly replied. Of course, I trust you completely. I've always trusted you. It's settled then. At Moon Bay, we'll finalize the deal when you return. As the call ended, ding. Gained 10 points. Current total, 320 points. Keep it up. It was time to earn points again. Qinyang was full of energy. This afternoon, there would be a tough battle. The gunfire would be intense and dangerous. He definitely needed to prepare in advance. Just thinking about it made him feel a pinch. He didn't know how many points he would have to spend again. After breakfast, come to my room. Ding Xiang elegantly sipped her milk and softly reminded Qinyang. Qinyang nodded silently, then turned to Lu Sisi. Sister Sisi, do you have time this morning? Wait a moment, I have something to tell you. Lu Sisi shook her head. I'm free. After finishing up with Xiang, come to my room. Okay, Qinyang agreed. Moments later, Qinyang arrived at Ding Xiang's room. A different kind of fragrance wafted in. Xiang, is there something you need? Ding Xiang looked at Qinyang curiously. What do you need to tell Sister Sisi? Qinyang smiled. It's a small matter, not important. Let us talk about what you need. Chapter 114. Qinyang touched his pocket. The police were shocked. What are you going to do? Seeing that Qinyang didn't want to say anything, Ding Xiang felt a bit disappointed but didn't press further. I wanted to discuss something with you. This afternoon, we'll be escorting the raw stones back to Jiangqing. What should we specifically do? Since we know the other side has a scheme, we should come up with a foolproof plan. Qinyang smiled knowingly. I was just about to talk to you about this matter. Ding Xiang became more interested. Have you already thought of a countermeasure? Qinyang nodded. It's not fully developed yet. Let us brainstorm together. Ding Xiang urged. Hurry up, what is the plan? Qinyang said. First, this plan must not be disclosed to anyone, especially Uncle Ming. Second, you need to secretly rent a bulletproof car. After half an hour of discussion, they finally prepared all the plans. Ding Xiang suddenly took out a bank card and handed it to Qinyang. Qinyang was puzzled. What does this mean? Ding Xiang explained. My funds have been urgently mobilized and are now available. This card contains not only the money for buying the raw stones, but also an additional 100 million as a thank you for helping me this time. Qinyang was a bit surprised. A thank you fee of 100 million? Ding Xiang appeared slightly embarrassed. Logically speaking, considering how much you've helped me earn, 100 million seems a bit low. However, this time, after all, it's a test for me. Qinyang immediately interrupted her. You misunderstood. I'm not saying 100 million is too little, it's too much. I only helped you, not for the money. Ding Xiang smiled sweetly. Xiao Gu, thank you. She accepted the bank card. Qin Yang's total assets reached 11.7 billion. Ding. Gained 10 points. Current total, 330 points. Keep it up. Points and money increased simultaneously, and Qin Yang felt great. He walked into Lu Cici's room. Speak, what do you need from me? Lu Cici was very generous, not mentioning at all what Ding Xiang needed him for. Qin Yang smiled. Cici, I have good news for you. Fang Haoyan has been arrested, and the Fang family is completely finished. Lu Cici was overjoyed. Really? Qin Yang laughed. With such important news, would I lie to you? He has done so many bad things. He should have been punished long ago. This time, their family is completely finished, which is a sign that justice prevails. From now on, you won't have to worry about anyone being a threat to you. Lu Cici was overwhelmed with joy and tears. Thank you. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't know what would happen now. Qin Yang smiled and waved his hand. From now on, I won't be your bodyguard anymore. As friends, you don't need to be polite with me. Lu Cici seemed a bit lost. Do you have other matters to attend to? Qin Yang explained. I have 2 things to tell you. The first thing is, this afternoon, Ding Xiang and I will escort the raw stones back. The journey might not be safe, so you should go separately. Just take a flight. It's safe and comfortable. The second thing is, I want to visit an uncle I haven't seen in years. I would like to ask you to help me prepare a gift. I'm really not good at this. Lu Cici readily agreed. I'll prepare the gift right away. It will be done in an hour. As for going back separately, I'll talk to Su Yulan about it, and I'll go back with her. Qin Yang stood up happily. All right, then I'll leave it to you. I have other matters to attend to. Before Qin Yang could leave, Lu Cici called out, don't rush to leave. I also have something to discuss with you. Qin Yang was puzzled. What is it? Go ahead. Lu Cici organized her thoughts. It's about starting an entertainment company. Su Yulan and I have the same idea. We hope you can join us, so we feel more confident. Qin Yang felt helpless. You think the same way? Fine then. Call Su Yulan over, and we can discuss it together. Soon, Su Yulan walked in. After some discussion among the 3, they finally decided to establish the Ri Yuxing Entertainment Company, with Qin Yang as the major shareholder. An investment of 100 million would give him a 52% stake, and he would serve as the chairman, responsible for expanding the company's network and security. Lu Cici and Su Yulan would each invest 50 million, holding 24 of the shares each, with Su Yulan specifically responsible for the film and television sector. The position is president, responsible for overall operations. Lu Cici specializes in the music sector and holds the position of vice president, responsible for talent discovery and development. The specific company location will be researched gradually after returning to Jiangxing. A preliminary agreement has been reached. Qin Yang smiled wryly, saying, I'm someone who knows nothing about entertainment, and you're pushing me into this. He felt unsure about what to do. Su Yulan laughed. Chairman, you are the big boss. All the work will be handled by the 2 of us. When the time comes, we'll find you a smart and capable female secretary. She will help you solve all problems, facilitate communication, and relay information. You won't have to do anything. Just come to the company, enjoy some tea, chat with the secretary, and check on us. She continued, of course, when we face difficulties, especially external resistance, we will need you to step in and resolve it. Lu Cici also laughed, adding, you will always be our personal bodyguard. Whenever we are in danger, you must help us out immediately. Qin Yang looked at the 2 women, unsure of what to say. So you're asking me to be your lifetime bodyguard for free? The 2 women exchanged smiles. Ding. Gained 10 points. Current total, 340 points. Keep it up. Another 10 points added. Qin Yang happily went out to handle business. This time, he went alone, entering the local police station by himself. The on-duty officer politely asked, hello, how can I help you? Qin Yang replied solemnly, is the director available? The officer was a bit surprised. Yes, what is the matter? Qin Yang smiled apologetically. Sorry, it's confidential. I need to speak to the director in person. The officer immediately took him seriously. Before long, Qin Yang walked into the director's office and closed the door behind him. The director was a tall, slender middle-aged man who looked quite energetic. He was surprised and immediately stood up. Greeting, hello? What brings you here? Qin Yang remained silent and directly put his hand into his pocket. The director was startled, a sharp light flashing in his eyes. He shouted, stop. Don't move. Otherwise, don't blame me for taking forceful measures. Once Qin Yang halted his movement, the director let out a breath of relief but did not dare to relax. Now, who are you? What do you want? Qin Yang was taken aback, realizing that his earlier action had caused a misunderstanding. Director, don't worry, I'm not a terrorist. I don't have a gun. I just want to show you something. The director's gaze fixed on his hand, tension rising. Take your hand out, slowly. I warn you, don't try anything funny. Chapter 115. 1,000 miles in search of kin, a mysterious heritage in the police station, director's office. Qin Yang cautiously took out a document. Don't be nervous. What I want to show isn't a gun. After receiving the document, the director looked puzzled, carefully examining it in his hand. He gently murmured, Military Intelligence Bureau, Special Operations Division, position, consultant, major rank. The director's eyes widened in disbelief as he looked at Qin Yang. My God, he was an experienced police officer, having served for over 20 years and seen it all. He had also had contact with some special departments. Usually, these high-ranking individuals were elusive, and their appearances signaled significant events. In the next moment, a sharp salute followed. Loud and clear, Li Baotian, chief of the Daitong Road Police Station in Cayenne City, salutes you. Qin Yang was momentarily taken aback, struggling to respond. After a brief pause, he straightened his face, adopting a serious demeanor. He returned the salute. After a second's pause, Qin Yang lowered his hand and smiled slightly. No need for formalities. He sat down, pressed his hands down to signal the other party to relax a bit. Li Baotian respectfully handed back the credentials, took out the best tea leaves, and personally poured a cup for Qin Yang. Leader, please enjoy the tea. Qin Yang smiled and pointed to the chair opposite him. Let's sit and chat. Li Baotian cautiously perched on the edge of the chair. Leader, do you have any instructions? Qin Yang chuckled. Actually, it's nothing major. I just need your help to find someone. He then described Zhuo Wuyang's situation, asking the station to assist in investigating his specific address. Li Baotian readily agreed and immediately called an urgent meeting at the station, insisting that everyone prioritize this matter as the #1 task. Absolutely confidential. Expedite and handle it specially. He hinted that the higher-ups were waiting for news. The household registration officer was flustered. In a hurry, he accessed the database to search for relevant information. In less than half an hour, the officer nervously entered the room to report and handed Li Baotian Zhuo Wuyang's current address. Li Baotian respectfully copied it down neatly, each character meticulously written. Holding the note, he presented it to Qin Yang with both hands. Leader, this is the specific address. Please have a look. Qin Yang nodded. Good. He accepted the note and prepared to leave. Li Baotian warmly escorted him to the door and personally arranged for the best car and the most reliable driver to take Qin Yang. Leader, feel free to instruct me next time you need anything. Qin Yang nodded and smiled. Director Li, you did great this time. Thank you. Li Baotian beamed with joy. It's my duty to assist the leadership. I am honored to participate in such a confidential matter, contributing to the people and serving the country. As an experienced police officer, I take pride in it. Excited and proud, Qin Yang headed straight for the address on the note in the police station's car. Li Baotian's attentiveness was unexpected yet reasonable to Qin Yang. He gained a new understanding of his advisor's credentials. It seemed that the information he received was indeed reliable. This document was quite useful. At the same time, Qin Yang reminded himself to be cautious with this credential and to use privileges sparingly with respect. In the suburbs of Cayenne City, at the foot of a mountain, there was an ordinary farmer's home. A stone wall surrounded the entrance, forming a small courtyard. Qin Yang stood at the entrance, waiting for a moment, but no one came out. Excuse me, is anyone there? He called out, but received no response. Slowly, he walked inside, passing through the small courtyard and a row of low stone houses, their outer walls rough with a layer of cement. As he entered, a strong smell of traditional Chinese medicine hit his nostrils, startling him. Is there a patient at home? He asked again. Excuse me, is anyone there? Just then, a series of coughs came from a side room. Soon after, a man in his 50s, looking frail and stooped, emerged slowly from the room. In the main room, there was a stove brewing medicine. The man walked over, seemingly preparing to take his medicine. Qin Yang hurried over to assist him. Please have a seat. Let me help you. He poured the medicinal broth from a clay pot into a large bowl and placed it in front of the man. The man glanced at Qin Yang and reached out to take it. Moments later, he finished the bowl of medicine. Thank you. Who are you? Qin Yang felt a surge of excitement and nervously looked at the man. Hello. I came to look for my relatives. May I ask, is your surname Zhu Yue? The old man nodded. That's right, I'm Zhuo Wuyang. I wonder if I am the person you are looking for? Qin Yang's face lit up with joy. He knelt down on both knees. Uncle Zhuo, I finally found you. Zhuo Wuyang was taken aback and quickly reached out to pull Qin Yang up. Who are you? Qin Yang smiled and explained. Uncle Zhuo, my name is Qin Yang. My father's name is Qin Zhongshi. Do you remember him? A rare smile appeared on Zhuo Wuyang's pale face. You are Qin brother's son? The lost child? Qin Yang nodded excitedly. Yes, Uncle Zhuo. If it weren't for you back then, I wouldn't be here today. Thank you for saving my life. He bowed his head again, but Zhuo Wuyang insisted on pulling him up. Qin Yang was secretly astonished by Zhuo Wuyang's strength, considering he was still a patient. Zhuo Wuyang's expression softened as he looked at Qin Yang's face, which gradually resembled Qin Zhongshi's from his memories. My dear nephew, it's been so many years. How is your father? Qin Yang helped Zhuo Wuyang sit down. My father just had surgery a while ago, but don't worry. He is recovering well and will be fine soon. Zhuo Wuyang sighed. As long as he is recovering, that's good. At our age, health is the most important. Qin Yang immediately inquired. Uncle Zhuo, how is your health? Zhuo Wuyang waved his hand dismissively. It's an old ailment. No need to mention it. He suddenly fixed his gaze on Qinyang. Xiao Qinyang, I see you possess great skills, at least the strength of a mid-level warrior, right? My brother Chen doesn't he have any martial arts skills? What kind of fortuitous encounter have you had? This situation is a bit sudden. Qinyang was momentarily unsure how to respond. His guess about being a mid-level warrior wasn't wrong at all. Because with his physical condition and the enhancement from a special pill, he indeed had the strength of a mid-level warrior. The reason he could rival mid-level fighters was due to his mastery of top-tier martial arts, such as the star-plucking hand and sky-treading steps. Uncle, I indeed have had some fortuitous encounters, he began, but Zhuo Wuyang interrupted him with a smile. Nephew, it's fine, I understand. If it's inconvenient for you to talk about it, you don't have to. I won't blame you. Qinyang slightly bowed to express his apology. Thank you for your understanding. Your insight is truly impressive. Are you also? Zhuo Wuyang laughed heartily, but it caused him to cough, turning his face red and feeling very uncomfortable. Qinyang quickly stood up and gently patted his back. After a while, Zhuo Wuyang managed to catch his breath. Nephew, you're not an outsider. It's okay to tell you. Our Zhuo family is not an ordinary farming family. We are a martial arts family. In an instant, Zhuo Wuyang's aura surged. It was as if he was no longer a frail old man, but a formidable martial arts master. The Zhuo family's martial arts heritage has a history of 300 years. Therefore, I can tell at a glance the depth of your skills. Qinyang couldn't help but exclaim, what a remarkable Zhuo family. 300 years of history. A martial arts family. Impressive. He involuntarily gave Zhuo Wuyang a thumbs up. You are truly amazing. Ding. Triggered today's information. Information 4. Years ago, Zhuo Wuyang was injured due to a bizarre experience. A mysterious place holds unknown dangers, precious treasures, and a remedy that healed his body. Qinyang immediately checked the information. The visuals displayed a dangerous insect, some perilous situations, and ferocious beasts, alongside a miraculous treasure. This treasure is undoubtedly of great use to practitioners. It is extremely rare and valuable. However, the specific location was quite vague, making it impossible to discern clearly. Qinyang felt a bit regretful. Without knowing the exact location, even the best things could only be admired from afar. However, since Uncle Zhuo had been there, he should know the location. Qinyang pondered how to bring up the topic. Uncle, you are so formidable. What caused your injuries? Perhaps because Qinyang also had some skills. Zhuo Wuyang thought for a moment and eventually recounted his experience from years ago. Many years ago, before I was injured, I heard rumors in the martial world about a marvelous place that was extremely dangerous but contained rare treasures of heaven and earth. Everyone was eager to obtain the treasures inside. There are many experts heading out to explore. The ignorant are fearless. In my youthful exuberance, I teamed up with a few skilled individuals. A slight smile appeared on his face, seemingly recalling the vigor and ambition of those days. At first, everything went smoothly. However, as we approached our goal, an unexpected incident occurred. The scene was quite eerie, and Qinyang's heart tightened. Uncle Zhuo, what happened? A trace of fear flashed in Zhuo Wuyang's eyes. Alas, so many years have passed. Yet the terrifying scene from back then is still vivid in my mind. There were 7 of us in total. In that battle alone, we lost 5. Besides me, only one other person managed to escape, but in completely different ways. I barely survived under the cover of my companions, sacrificing 2 friends in the process. That scoundrel pushed one of our companions out as a shield to save himself. Afterwards, we had a huge argument and went our separate ways. Qinyang was filled with shock. What exactly happened at that time? Zhuo Wuyang painfully closed his eyes. We were close to our destination and everyone was excited, pushing forward quickly. Suddenly, one of our companions at the front stopped in his tracks. He shouted and turned around. We were all startled. His entire body, including his face, was covered in countless black insects. In less than 10 seconds, he turned completely black and disintegrated, not even leaving a trace of bones behind. Zhuo Wuyang shivered. We quickly retreated, but it was too late. Those black insects had wings and could fly. Despite us swinging our weapons and using our energy to strike, there were simply too many of them, dense and endless. In the blink of an eye, another companion was consumed by the insects. Everyone was terrified and began to flee in desperation. Suddenly, 2 of my friends were also chased by an insect. They shouted for me to run while they stayed behind to attract the insect's attacks. A tear quietly rolled down Zhuo Wuyang's eye. Suddenly, his face turned angry. That scoundrel, seeing the insects closing in, pushed me and another companion to the ground and ran away by himself. At that moment, I was terrified. An insect crawled up my leg and bit me. I desperately swatted it away and finally killed it before escaping. However, the other companion was alive and was devoured. In a way, they provided cover for my escape. Zhuo Wuyang's body trembled slightly, as if still immersed in that terrifying scene from the past. Later, I had a huge fight with that person and we parted ways. Along the way, my injuries flared up, and no matter how I tried to use my energy, I couldn't expel the toxins. Over the years, I sought out famous doctors and took countless remedies, but none could cure my illness. Instead, I ended up ruining my family business and delaying my child's upbringing. Ding! You have earned 10 points, now totaling 350 points. Keep it up. Today's task has been triggered and completed. The system rewards 10 points. Chen Yang was momentarily stunned and continued to inquire. So, where exactly is this dangerous place? Zhuo Wuyang looked at Chen Yang with a piercing gaze, a hint of scrutiny in his eyes. You really want to know where the dangerous place is? Chen Yang replied. Of course. Didn't you say there are rare treasures there? It might be of great use to us martial artists. So many people are eager to go. There must be a reason, right? The main thing is, Uncle Zhuo, your illness was caused by an insect bite. I believe that everything in the world is interconnected. It's very possible that there are healing herbs in that dangerous place that could cure your condition. I really want to go and help you find them. Zhuo Wuyang nodded slightly, the wariness in his eyes fading. This kid is not bad, very honest and filial. Unfortunately, he can't be told. My dear nephew, I appreciate your kindness, but I cannot tell you, at least not now. Chen Yang was puzzled. Why not? Zhuo Wuyang said seriously, because your strength is insufficient. When I went to the dangerous place, I was under 30, in my prime. My cultivation had already reached the level of a bright martial artist. None of the capable companions I traveled with were below the level of a senior battle general. Even with such a combination, we had no chance of winning. With your current level as a mid-tier soldier king, you would only be cannon fodder there. He paused, from my guess, to get past the insect challenge. You either need exceptional lightness skills to run fast or strong power, at least at the level of a dark martial artist, to defeat the insects with dark energy. Therefore, I cannot let you go to your death. Chen Yang felt regretful. Currently, his strength was indeed lacking. However, with the assistance of the sky-treading step, there might be hope. At worst, he could use points to upgrade the sky-treading step again. If he couldn't fight, he could still run, right? As long as he could obtain the treasures inside, his strength would surely increase significantly, and Uncle Zhuo's illness could be cured. Sigh. How could he extract the location from Uncle Zhuo's mouth? Dad, I'm back. Suddenly, a familiar voice came from the entrance. Chapter 117. The Master Returns, Strategizing Dad. I picked some herbs again. A sturdy young man walked in excitedly. When he looked up and saw Chen Yang, he suddenly froze. What are you doing here? Chen Yang smiled. Zhuo Xiaojing, your Uncle Zhuo's son. What a coincidence. Zhuo Wuyang was very surprised. Xiaoyang, you and Xiaojing? Do you know each other? So, Chen Yang briefly recounted how Zhuo Xiaojing had saved him and how they later met again at the hotel. Zhuo Wuyang couldn't help but exclaim how strange life circumstances could be. At the same time, he educated Zhuo Xiaojing. Such a girl, if she breaks up, then so be it. Our Zhuo family doesn't care. Zhuo Xiaojing pouted and muttered softly, doesn't care? In the future, if you remain single. Don't blame me for not trying hard enough. Zhuo Wuyang was so angry that he wanted to hit him. Zhuo Xiaojing was quite slippery and quickly darted to Chen Yang's side, grinning. Brother Yang, it turns out our families have a connection. Chen Yang was also very pleased. With this relationship, Zhuo Xiaojing would have a much better chance when he went to work in Jiangxing. Xiaojing, with your skills, why are you working as a security guard? Zhuo Xiaojing's expression darkened as he shared his story. It turned out that he had once served in the military. Due to his exceptional abilities, he was selected for a special forces unit and became a top soldier. He won first place in a military combat competition and was a key training target in the army. Later, because of his stubborn temper and a fight with a superior, he was forced to leave the military. After returning home, without other means of making a living, he could only settle for being a small security guard. Chen Yang sighed. What a pity. If you had stayed in the military and gone to a military academy, you would definitely have a bright future. Zhuo Wuyang shot his son a glare. You must change your temper. If I see you fighting again, just wait and see how I deal with you. Zhuo Xiaojing shrank his neck. But Chen Yang came to his defense. Uncle, as martial artists, having some spirit isn't a bad thing. The key is who you fight with. If it's an ordinary person, we must not resort to violence. On the contrary, we should lend a helping hand and even uphold justice. But if it's a bad person, we must take action when necessary. Zhuo Wuyang remained silent, neither opposing nor agreeing, which could be considered tacit approval. Chen Yang turned to Zhuo Wuyang. Uncle, I invite you to stay in Jiangxing for a while. Would you be willing? Zhuo Wuyang shook his head. I'm not in good health. I don't want to go anywhere. Chen Yang encouraged. Jiangxing is a big city, and its medical facilities are much better than those in Cayenne City. Besides, I know doctors at the first hospital of Jiangxing who can provide the best medical care. Rest assured, I will make all the arrangements for you. So you don't have to worry. Zhuo Wuyang still shook his head. No trouble for you. I know my own body. Ordinary methods and common medicines definitely won't cure me. Chen Yang earnestly persuaded, medical science has advanced now. Perhaps there's hope to get better at a big hospital in Jiangxing. And my abilities are not just at the intermediate soldier level. Xiaojing knows this. Zhuo Xiaojing nodded vigorously, like a chick pecking at grain. Yes. Brother Yang's strength is at least at the intermediate warrior level, much stronger than me. Ignoring Zhuo Wuyang's doubtful gaze, Qin Yang continued, my strength is rapidly increasing. I believe that in the near future, I will definitely reach the level of a Ming warrior, or even an Yin warrior. By then, just give me the address. And I can go to dangerous places to help you find the rare medicine. Zhuo Wuyang felt greatly comforted. Child, as long as you have this intention, that's enough. You must not put yourself in danger for me. If something happens, how would I explain it to your father? Qin Yang smiled. You can rest assured that I will definitely be well prepared before setting off. Since you are in the city, I have the elixir. So I can help you with your treatment in time. Moreover, I would like to be by your side, to show my filial piety. Most importantly, I am doing relatively well in the city. Xiao Gang will come with me, and he will definitely have a bright future. Zhuo Wuyang is still hesitating. Zhuo Xiaojiang is a bit anxious and starts to persuade him. Dad, your health is getting worse. If we go to a big city and a large hospital, you can definitely receive better treatment. Besides, you can't just watch me as a small security guard, being looked down upon by even my girlfriend. Living life in a dejected manner. I believe in Yanggu. Being with him will surely lead to a bright future. This tactic is very effective. What father doesn't want his son to have a promising future? Zhuo Wuyang's expression finally shows some signs of softening. Zhuo Xiaojiang seizes the opportunity. You often think of my sister. She is in the city. If we also move there, my sister can come home often. Zhuo Wuyang is finally persuaded and lets out a long sigh. All right, since Xiao Yang is warmly inviting you and you want to go so much, then let's do it. I haven't seen Hongmei for a long time. I really miss her. I wonder how she is doing on her own in the city. Qin Yang feels delighted but is also a bit puzzled. Xiao Gang, you have a sister? Zhuo Xiaojing nods. Yes, Yanggu, my sister is in the city. She is very beautiful. She seems to work at a large hotel, and her salary is quite high. I'm not sure which hotel she works at or in what position, as she hasn't mentioned it. Qin Yang silently agrees. It seems that fate is helping him. Unexpectedly, Xiao Gang's sister is also in the city, which actually helps him out. Uncle, Xiao Gang, please pack your things. I will send a car to pick you up in 2 hours. Before leaving, Qin Yang briefly mentions the matter of escorting the raw stones in the afternoon and seeks their opinions, especially regarding the potential dangers. Should they travel with the convoy or take a direct flight to the city? To his surprise, they are very much in agreement. Zhuo Wuyang shakes slightly, his spirit lifted. Xiao Yang, let's go together. Let Xiao Gang lend you a hand. It will help a bit. As for me, don't worry. Although I'm sick, I'm not incapacitated. I can still handle ordinary small-time thieves. Zhuo Xiaojiang is eager as well. Yanggu, I want to go with you to fight the enemy. Qin Yang pats his shoulder. Feeling very happy. All right, just stay by my side and be careful of the other side having guns. On the way back, Qin Yang calls He Hu to make arrangements. When they arrive at the hotel, Lu Cixi and Su Yulan have already finished packing and are ready to head to the airport. Qin Yang sees them off and coordinates with Ding Xiang, ensuring that the escort operation in the afternoon is foolproof. At this time, Ming Shu comes over and requests to accompany Ding Xiang for the escort of the raw stones. Ding Xiang knew that Ming Shu had issues, so she hesitated to agree. However, unexpectedly, Qin Yang took the initiative and agreed on the spot. Ming Shu, thank you for your hard work. Come with us. At that time, you'll lead the way with a few assistants, while I'll follow behind with your young lady. Ming Shu's face lit up. It's no trouble. It's what I should do. As she watched Ming Shu walk away, Ding Xiang was filled with worry. She knew he had problems. Why was she still letting him accompany them? Chapter 118. Going all out. Qin Yang smiled faintly. If Ming Shu didn't follow, how could they feel secure? Ding Xiang contemplated and realized the implications. Are you trying to set a trap? Qin Yang nodded. Exactly. The raw stones, you and I will be the bait. Hee. You'll be the sweet date. While I'll be the steel ball, shattering his teeth. You're annoying. Ding Xiang playfully punched him. On the other side, Ming Shu immediately called Ding Qiufeng to report. Everything is normal. I will follow throughout and report any changes immediately. Ding Qiufeng was very pleased, praising Ming Shu and drawing up a few more grand plans, encouraging him to keep up the good work. Ding Qiufeng was already aware of the time and route, setting out ahead of time. The long convoy had at least dozens of people. Mr. Tian, are your men ready? Kita Shoji was in a luxury business vehicle with Ding Qiufeng. Young Master Ding. I've used my connections and spent a fortune to hire 10 experts from the underworld. Among them, 3 are advanced warriors, rare top-notch experts who can easily crush them. Moreover, to eliminate any potential threats, I've instructed them to carry guns. It's foolproof. Ding Qiufeng laughed heartily. Haha, great. I have 2 requests. First, seize the raw stones. Second, turn Ding Xiang and Qin Yang into thieves. Kita Shoji immediately assured him that there would be no problem. Master Tian, as long as you help me succeed this time, I'll be the designated heir of the Ding family. My influence within the Ding family will surely increase, and our cooperation will deepen. It must be said, Ding Qiufeng was indeed a master at making grand promises. After drawing up a plan for Ming Shu, he crafted another for Kita Shoji, steaming hot and looking very appetizing. Kita Shoji was overjoyed, already envisioning the scenario of secretly manipulating Ding Xiufeng to use the Ding family's channels to transport all the national treasures from Longhua back to the small island. Soon, Zhuo Wuyang and Zhuo Xiaojing were picked up by the vehicle. Chen Yang replaced Ding Xiang as the temporary head, fully in charge of this escort mission. The convoy officially set out, consisting of 4 vehicles, 1 large cargo truck carrying raw jade stones, and 3 black armored Mercedes. Ming Shu, unaware of the armored nature of the vehicles, rode with a small assistant at the front, leading the way. Ding Xiang and Chun Yang shared a vehicle, with Chun Yang in the middle directing the operation. A large truck was sandwiched in between, receiving special protection. The last vehicle contained Zhuo Wuyang and Zhuo Xiaojing. The total journey would take 5 hours, departing at 1 in the afternoon and arriving in Jiangqing by 6 in the evening, according to the planned route. Ding Xiufeng aimed to act at only one location, the Haifengling service area. Due to the entire journey being on the highway, it was impossible for Ding Xiufeng to make a move while traveling at high speed. He would have to wait for the vehicle to stop and the people to get out for the best opportunity to attack. There were originally 3 service areas along the way, but due to recent renovations, 2 of the service area gas stations were out of service. Only the gas station at Haifengling was operational, which led Chen Yang to plan the rest stop there. With the help of the informant Ming Shu, Chen Yang successfully guided Ding Xiufeng to set the attack location at Haifengling. There was still an hour and a half until they reached the Haifengling service area. Chen Yang closed his eyes to rest, but in reality, he was mentally summoning the system. His own strength was still lacking, especially his marksmanship, which was quite poor. He needed to find a way to improve. Even when hunting a rabbit, one must go all out. How much more so for himself? This time, Ding Xiufeng was undoubtedly well prepared, and with the assistance of the spy Kitata Koji, he would definitely hire experts disguised as people from the Dragon Country, laying an ambush from all sides. A slight mistake could lead to disaster. Chen Yang could not afford to be careless. He decided to draw a random prize. Ding. Detected host currently has 350 points. You can choose from 3 lottery modes. 1. Unreliable level lottery, requires 10 points. 2. Abnormal level lottery, requires 50 points. 3. Explosive level lottery, requires 100 points. Choosing the unreliable level. After much experimentation, Chen Yang found that the unreliable level had a low winning rate, but correspondingly low costs. The prizes were varied and unpredictable, often bringing surprises. Ding. Lottery completed. Congratulations. You have obtained the skill of painting and calligraphy, beginner level, Danxing Miaobi. 10 points deducted, remaining points, 340. In a mysterious way, a profound knowledge was imprinted in Chun Yang's mind, with countless basic techniques of calligraphy and painting merging into his being. Chen Yang was momentarily stunned. Wow, this time, he actually won on the first try? Unfortunately, as a martial general, was it really suitable for him to receive a civil skill? Danxing Miaobi? Would my signature look cooler in the future? Chen Yang really couldn't understand. Aside from his signature, what use would a calligraphy and painting skill have? Especially now, with the impending battle, it felt particularly ironic. A scholar is of no use in war. Sigh. Continuing the lottery. Still going for the abnormal level. Ding. Lottery completed. Congratulations. You have obtained a bottle of speed essence. Deducting 10 points. Current remaining points, 330. Huh. Chen Yang felt a stir in his heart. By the name, it seemed like something good this time. A delicate green vial appeared out of nowhere. Chen Yang reached out and easily caught it. Beside him, Ding Xiang was deep in thought, wondering what special arrangements Chen Yang had made along the way. She suddenly noticed a small vial appearing out of thin air. Rubbing her eyes, Ding Xiang exclaimed, Xiao Yanggu, where did the vial in your hand come from? It looks like. Chen Yang laughed heartily. Are you too nervous? I just took it out of my pocket and tossed it into the air. You saw it fall just in time. Ding Xiang shook her head. No, I clearly saw. Chen Yang laughed again. You don't believe me? Then let me show you again. Watch closely. Ding Xiang nodded, her beautiful eyes wide open, not blinking. Chen Yang shook the small green vial in his hand, making sure Ding Xiang could see it clearly. In the next second, the vial disappeared, then abruptly reappeared in midair, falling freely. Chen Yang reached out and caught it again, perfectly recreating the previous scene. Did you see that? It appeared out of nowhere, right? Ding Xiang nodded, then shook her head. Yes. No. My head is spinning. She tapped her head, looking quite confused. Seeing her so flustered made Chen Yang secretly chuckle. A masterful trickster, indeed, not just a name. He had already reached a level of invisibility. Even an expert in detection would not find any flaws. Ignoring Ding Xiang's self-doubt, Chen Yang carefully examined the small green vial in his hand. The size of the vial was similar to that of an oral liquid, with a deep green liquid flowing inside. Should I drink it all? Chapter 119, Strength Surge. Killing intent emerges. Produced by the system, trustworthy. Drinking it should be fine, right? If it's toxic, then I can only consider myself unlucky. If the system brother wants to go down together, who can stop that? Opening the cap, Qin Yang poured it directly into his mouth. A cool sensation spread throughout his body. In less than 3 seconds, his body underwent a miraculous change. Qin Yang moved his hands. His hand speed had increased by more than double. If it weren't for being in the car, he would have really wanted to run 5 kilometers to test how much his speed had increased. In the world of martial arts, speed is everything. The boost in speed would definitely enhance his overall strength significantly. Unfortunately, the skill Qin Yang most wanted to draw was still not obtained. Continue the lottery. Ding. Lottery completed. Congratulations. You have obtained the shooting skill, entry level, marksman. Deducting 10 points, current remaining points, 320. Countless shooting techniques flooded into Qin Yang's brain, all basic theories. At the same time, his body, especially his eyes and fingers, has been transformed. It seems as if he was born for firearms. His gaze is as sharp as that of a falcon, searching and focusing on various targets, pinpointing and magnifying them. His fingers are as nimble as a pianist's, with an excellent tactile sense, able to instantly receive commands from the brain and pull the trigger, accurately hitting the target. Amazing. Qin Yang's face lit up with joy, his mouth curving into a smile. The skills he had longed for had finally been acquired. From now on, he no longer had to worry about the disdainful gaze of Wang Xiaoya. His sudden laughter puzzled Ding Xiang. How could that small bottle of green liquid be so delicious? Wow, laughing so wildly. Qin Yang was completely immersed in his joy, not caring at all about Ding Xiang's odd thoughts. Upgrade. Directly elevate his shooting skills to master level. Ding. Consumes 60 points. Marksman upgraded to level 4, perfection level. Master level. Current points remaining, 260. Qin Yang shivered with excitement. He instantly completed the transformation to master-level shooting skills. Both physically and mentally, he was perfectly in sync. He could achieve a perfect unity with the gun at any moment. The gun is me, and I am the gun. At this moment, Qin Yang's shooting skills absolutely surpassed the world shooting champion. In real combat, he would not fall short of the top snipers. It can be said that as long as he has a gun and 100 bullets, he is confident he can take on 100 armed assailants. Wang Xiaoya, just wait. Dare to look down on my shooting skills? I'll blind your cunning eyes. Qin Yang, with a playful mindset, imagined a scenario where he could tease the beautiful Wang. It made him feel much better inside. Having spent so many points made him feel quite the pinch. However, when it's time to earn, he works hard. When it's time to spend, he cannot be stingy. Currently, his portable space is only 3 cubic meters in size, with a length, width, and height of 3 meters. It can store quite a bit. But in special circumstances, it can be insufficient. For example, the last time at Lega Mountain, Qin Yang exhausted all his stored meat to buy off fierce beasts and birds. Ultimately, the limited space was the issue. If it could be a bit larger, he wouldn't have faced the predicament of resource depletion. Upgrade the portable space. Ding. Deducting 100 points. Portable space upgraded to level 3, 10 cubic meters. Current points remaining, 160. Qin Yang closed his eyes. His consciousness entering the portable space. Wow. It was indeed much larger than before. The length, width, and height all reached 10 meters. It was spacious and open. The cache, calligraphy, supplies, and other items previously stored were piled in one corner, taking up only a small part of the space. There was so much surplus space. Qin Yang thought he should prepare some more items to fill it up, just in case. What should he get? Dragon coins and knife coins. Let's gather some cash. Stock up on various fresh fruits, vegetables, and meats. A complete set of outdoor survival gear would be good. Collect some cold weapons and firearms as well. Should we get an off-road vehicle? It has ample space for storage. Who knows when it might come in handy? The list goes on and on. I'll collect them bit by bit when I have time in the future. After drinking the speed essence, I wonder if my strength has changed. Checking the personal information panel. Host name, Qin Yang. Host age, 22 years old. Theoretical lifespan, 120 years. System level. Level 2, 3 pieces of intelligence triggered yesterday. 1 piece triggered today. Life skills, soulful hands. Level 4 perfect. Master driving, level 3 proficient. Beast language, level 4 perfect. Sharpshooter, level 4 perfect. Artistic brush, level 1 beginner. Special skills, personal space, level 3, 10 cubic meters. Golden eye, level 1, scanning range, 1 meter. Telepathic communication, level 4. Communication range, 30 meters. Combat skills, combat technique, level 4 perfect. Empty hand mastery, level 4 perfect. Invisible. Heartbreaking strike, level 2 minor accomplishment, can break stone with a palm. Star plucking and moon grabbing, level 1 beginner. Capturing dragons and tigers. Skywalking, level 2 minor accomplishment. Swift as the wind. Cultivation secret method, none. Combat power level, advanced soldier king, speed essence. Strength evaluation. With the star plucking technique and skywalking, can contend against advanced warriors. Physical fitness has improved to that of an advanced soldier king. Actual combat power has surged to that of an advanced warrior. Qin Yang is very satisfied with such a speed of improvement. Nowadays, Qin Yang is a consultant at the Special Operations Department of the Intelligence Bureau, armed and officially certified. His greatest trump card is not hand-to-hand combat, but his master-level marksmanship as a sharpshooter. Unfortunately, he is running low on bullets, with only 50 rounds left. Next time, he needs to apply for more. Suddenly, his phone rang, startling Qin Yang awake. He looked at the caller ID and saw it was Bai Yuyan calling. Yuyan? What is up? Bai Yuyan sounded a bit anxious. Yang, when are you coming back to Jiangqing? Qin Yang's heart tightened. Is something wrong? Is it about my dad? Bai Yuyan hurriedly explained. Uncle is fine, don't worry. I have something urgent that I need your help with. Qin Yang quickly asked, what is it? I can return to Jiangqing tonight. Bai Yuyan let out a sigh of relief. It's quite complicated and can't be explained in a few words. Let us meet and talk tomorrow. Qin Yang felt a bit worried. It was difficult to ask more over the phone. All right, I'll find you tomorrow. Bai Yuyan sounded downcast. Qin Yang, you have to help me this time. Otherwise, She hesitated. Qin Yang wanted to press for more details, but Bai Yuyan was unwilling to say more. Okay, you take care of your things, we'll talk tomorrow. After hanging up, Qin Yang furrowed his brows in thought. Yuyan has always been cheerful and open-minded. Today's situation is clearly abnormal. What happened to her? A series of static noises came from the walkie-talkie. Soon after, a slightly nervous voice from Ming Shu came through. Young Master Yang, 5 kilometers ahead is the Haifengling service area. May I ask if we should proceed to the service area as originally planned? Chapter 120. The expert appears. The earth shakes on the lead vehicle. Ming Shu held the walkie-talkie, his palms sweating. He was extremely tense. Whether they could enter the ambush zone depended on how Qin Yang decided. If he changed the plan at the last minute, all of Ding Qiufeng's ambushes would be in vain, and they would lose the last chance to turn the tables, completely saying goodbye to the throne of the Ding family's heir. At that time, as the contact person, Ming Shu would surely suffer a great loss. If the original plan remained unchanged, Qin Yang and Ding Xiang would fall into heavy encirclement. Not only would the billion-dollar jade ruff be robbed, but everyone except Ming Shu would also be silenced. None would be spared. Execute according to the original plan. Qin Yang's voice showed no fluctuations, as if he had no idea that this command would directly send them all into the abyss of death. Ming Shu felt a surge of joy and immediately relayed the order. Received, entering Haifengling. Soon, the convoy turned and entered the auxiliary road of the Haifengling service area. Inside the vehicle, Qin Yang snorted coldly. Through the window, his eyes, like a hawk, scanned the surroundings. Ding Xiang sensed something was wrong. What's going on? Is there something abnormal? Qin Yang sneered. On the contrary, it's very calm here. There's not a hint of abnormality. Ding Xiang was puzzled. Isn't no abnormality a good thing? Qin Yang retorted, knowing there's a problem but not being able to see it. How can that be a good thing? Ding Xiang suddenly realized and her face finally showed a trace of seriousness. Qin Yang said sternly, wait a minute. All actions will be under my command. Do not act on your own. His words were very domineering. Ding Xiang felt a bit resistant but did not argue. For her, this trip was too important. The value of these jade ruffs was immense, and there could not be a single mistake. For vehicles entered the service area in sequence and parked together. The atmosphere inside was somewhat desolate. Although some people could be seen, none of them were acting normally. Not a single person spoke. They were all quietly doing their own things. Qin Yang quickly picked up the walkie-talkie. Everyone, please pay attention. There is an emergency situation. All of you stay in the vehicles for the time being. Do not get out of the car. I repeat, stay in the vehicles, do not get out. Only Ming Shu, Xiao Gang, and I are allowed to get out. Further actions will be notified once the situation is clear. The other 3 vehicles responded in turn. Received. 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 Soon, Ming Shu hurried over, and Qin Yang also got out of the car. Young Master Yang, why aren't we letting everyone get out? Qin Yang looked at him coldly, speaking slowly. What do you think? Uncle Ming felt uneasy and awkwardly stood there. How would I know? Qin Yang no longer paid attention to him. Instead, he turned to look at the entrance of the service hall. A young man, smoking a cigarette and accompanied by a large group, walked out with an air of confidence. It was Ding Qiufeng, the young master. Ha ha ha, what a coincidence we meet again. Qin Yang scoffed. Your acting skills are quite impressive. Wasn't this all part of your plan? Still pretending? Ding Qiufeng threw the cigarette, but on the ground, and stomped it out with his foot. TCH, even at the end of your rope, you're still acting tough. Damn it. You think you can just strut around? Next second, I'll make you kneel and beg for mercy. You believe that? Qin Yang shrugged nonchalantly. I'm just that confident. What are you going to do about it? Bite me? I'd say you're just a toad sneezing. I don't believe you have what it takes. Why don't you show me? Ding Qiufeng's face twisted in anger. You're asking for it. He waved his hand. Get him. Take him down. In the blink of an eye, besides the 10 or so people around him, dozens more emerged from various corners of the service area, surrounding Qin Yang completely. It turned out that the entire service area was filled with his people. The others were either chased away or trapped, with no one left to roam outside. Qin Yang stood alone against dozens, making the situation very unfavorable for him. Ding Xiang hid in the bulletproof car, her eyes filled with worry. She wanted to get out, but feared being a burden. She thought about calling the police or asking her family for help, but it was too late. All she could do was anxiously watch through the car window. At that moment, Uncle Ming suddenly left Qin Yang's side and stood directly next to Ding Qiufeng. Looking like a loyal dog, Qin Yang sneered. Uncle Ming, finally dropping the act? Uncle Ming remained silent with a cold expression. Ding Qiufeng laughed heartily. Uncle Ming is one of us. Whether he listens to Ding Xiang or me, it's the same. Besides, what can a woman like Ding Xiang accomplish? Following me is the wise choice. Ding Xiang saw this scene and was furious. She immediately rolled down the window and shouted at Uncle Ming, Uncle Ming, is it really you who betrayed me? Our family trusted you so much. My grandfather, my father, including me. Who has wronged you? A flash of shame crossed Uncle Ming's face. But the next second it turned to indifference. Miss, all I can say is, if one doesn't act for oneself, heaven will punish them. Ding Xiang was filled with rage. You don't even know what to say in response. Ding Qiufeng was smug. Sister Ding Xiang, did you think defeating me at the stone gambling event meant you won? You didn't expect I had a backup plan, did you? Ha ha. Before Ding Xiang could respond, Qin Yang let out a cold laugh. Ding Qiufeng, do you really think you've got this in the bag? Ding Qiufeng shrugged. What else could it be? Qin Yang shouted, Xiao Gang, make your move. All right. Zhuo Xiaojing, who had already gotten out of the car, let out a roar. Like a tiger entering a flock of sheep, he unleashed a flurry of punches, kicks, and knee strikes with overwhelming ferocity. In less than a minute, he took down more than a dozen opponents, leaving the remaining 30 or so too frightened to approach. Qin Yang smiled faintly. Ding Xiao, how's it going? Do you still think you have it in the bag? Ding Qiufeng's face turned pale, his eyes wide with disbelief. This group of ruffians, usually so arrogant and boastful, turned out to be all show and no substance. When it mattered most, they faltered. Zhuo Wuyang, sitting in the car, watched as Zhuo Xiaojing decisively took down several opponents and scared off many others. He felt quite satisfied. Over the years, his health had deteriorated, hindering his ability to teach his son martial arts. Yet, this kid had diligently practiced and hadn't fallen too far behind. He decided that he needed to strengthen his guidance and pass on the family's secret skills to him as soon as possible. Otherwise, with poor skills, it would be difficult for him to achieve anything significant by Qin Yang's side. Ding Xiang was astonished to see Zhuo Xiaojing display such prowess. She hadn't expected that Qin Yang's friend, who seemed dull, would possess such real skills. Ming Shu, frightened, retreated repeatedly. His alliance with Ding Qiufeng was based on the belief that he would win and bring him great benefits. Now, with a formidable expert emerging from Ding Xiang's side, wouldn't he be in trouble? Ding Qiufeng ran faster than Ming Shu. Seeing that the people around him were unreliable, he couldn't even withstand a single move from Zhuo Xiaojing. He could only grab onto Kuei Tianshower's sleeve. This person is too powerful. Master Tian, where are your people? Quickly call for experts to subdue this fierce guy. Kuei Tianshower remained calm, taking 2 steps forward and pointing at Qin Yang while shouting angrily, Kid, don't be so arrogant. Just wait and see. I'll find someone to take you down. Qin Yang understood the situation well. The true cards of these two were about to be revealed. Clap, clap, clap. Kuei Tianshower clapped his hands 3 times, the sound echoing throughout the venue. Everyone looked around, searching for the so-called expert to make an appearance. Boom, boom, boom. A rhythmic series of loud noises came from a nearby room. Soon, a middle-aged man with a stocky build and a crew cut walked out. With each step he took, the ground shook, leaving a deep footprint of an inch in depth, whether on the tiled floor or the concrete surface. Bang! The short-haired man suddenly threw a punch at Zhuo Xiaojing. Zhuo Xiaojing's expression changed drastically as he hurriedly raised his fist to block. The 2 fists collided. But the short-haired man remained unmoved, while Zhuo Xiaojing let out a muffled grunt. His sturdy body was sent flying as if struck by a train, landing heavily 3 yards away, kicking up a cloud of dust. Xiaojing. Zhuo Wuyang watched in shock. Once again, it was a mix of heartache and shock. The son was at least a junior warrior, yet he couldn't even withstand a single move and was sent flying. This little buzzcut is definitely not simple. He possesses at least the strength of a senior warrior, and among senior warriors, he is quite formidable. He could potentially advance to the level of a distinguished warrior at any moment. Ding Xiang was startled by the sudden turn of events, covering her small mouth. Her heart raced intensely, worried not only for Zhuo Xiaojing, but also for her side. Unexpectedly, the buzzcut was relentless. After knocking Zhuo Xiaojing away, he didn't let up. With a few strides, he chased after Zhuo Xiaojing and threw another punch directly at his face. If that punch landed, even if Zhuo Xiaojing didn't die, he would be disfigured and lose half his life. No. Zhuo Wuyang's eyes were bloodshot with rage. If it weren't for his injuries, he would have already gotten out of the car to smash the buzz cut into pieces. Ding Xiang was so scared that she covered her eyes, unable to bear to watch this scene. Bang! A loud crash. Zhuo Xiaojing wasn't severely injured, but it was Chun Yang who rushed up just in time, taking the buzz cut's punch squarely. The buzz cut stepped back a bit, while Chun Yang stumbled back 3 big steps. It was clear that he was at a disadvantage in terms of strength. After all, his physical condition and overall abilities were still at the level of a senior soldier. Although the strength-enhancing pills had boosted his power, it still paled in comparison to a senior warrior. The only advantage he had was speed. The speed essence had enhanced his speed, and combined with the sky-treading step, it became even more pronounced. Chun Yang quickly adjusted his tactics, fully utilizing his speed advantage. With the aid of the sky-treading step and the star-plucking hand, he moved like a slippery loach, evading the buzz cut's grasp and attacks. For a time, the two sides were locked in a stalemate. Seeing Chun Yang struggling to hold on, Zhuo Xiaojing felt a surge of gratitude. If Chun Yang hadn't come to his rescue with that punch, he would have been in danger. Ding Xiang, through the car window, watched the fierce battle between Chun Yang and the buzz cut. Both were of senior warrior strength, with every move and gesture exuding immense power. Their destructive force shattered the tiles on the ground, and everything they touched, flower beds, curbs, trees, was obliterated. She was dumbfounded, staring in disbelief. She never expected Chun Yang's strength to be this formidable. What was the difference between him and a humanoid monster or demolition machinery? This was the first time Zhuo Wuyang saw Chun Yang in action, and he was astonished. When Zhuo Xiaojing mentioned that Chun Yang was very impressive, he hadn't taken it to heart, thinking he was merely a junior warrior, at most a mid-level warrior. He never imagined that he actually possessed the strength of a senior warrior. The key point was that his physical level was only at the senior soldier stage. What did this indicate? Either he had extraordinary combat experience, or he possessed exceptional combat skills, or he had mastered one or even several top-tier martial arts. Regardless of which, it was impressive. Such opportunities are rare. The achievements in the future are limitless. Ding Qiufeng was both surprised and doubtful. He initially thought that Chun Yang was just a pretty boy relying on his looks for a living. Unexpectedly, this guy earns his keep with his physical prowess. His skills are formidable and should not be underestimated. That buzz cut, just stomping his feet, could crush bricks. How could Chun Yang withstand it? After such a long fight, he surprisingly hadn't been hurt at all. This is unacceptable. I'm currently committing robbery and murder. It can't turn into a martial arts competition. Over time, who knows if the authorities will show up. Master Tian, think of a way quickly. We must take down Chun Yang. We can't delay any longer. Ku Tianshower was also anxious. This time, he had selected a team of 10 from the special agents of a small island nation to impersonate martial arts experts from another country. Once discovered, it would definitely cause huge trouble. Whether these 10 people could be saved is one thing, but his own identity would surely be exposed. Under the pursuit of the local agents, surviving would be extremely difficult. Therefore, he was even more anxious than Ding Qiufeng. He let out a loud shout to the sky. All units, move out. Eliminate everyone. Leave no one behind. 9 more people jumped out from the surroundings, each armed with a handgun. Among them, 2 had a fierce aura. Not weaker than the buzz-cut guy. They were the other 2 advanced warriors. Chun Yang's pupils constricted. He quickly broke away from the fight, leaning against the cargo truck to prevent being surrounded by the 3 advanced warriors. He could barely handle 1 advanced warrior. He could take 3 punches and return 2. With 2 advanced warriors, he could only passively dodge and avoid. Defeat was certain. The only difference was how long it would take. With 3 advanced warriors, he would definitely lose, with no chance at all. He might not even last a minute. Zhuo Wuyang was an old hand in the game. He could see the problem at a glance. Although Chun Yang was powerful, he simply couldn't cope with the current situation. 3 advanced warriors like this were not something an ordinary person could mobilize. That Master Tian is definitely suspicious. At this moment, Ding Xiang was truly frightened. From Chun Yang's cautious demeanor, she could tell that the 2 new arrivals must be extremely formidable. Chun Yang couldn't handle them. With a truck full of jade rough stones and so many people, they were facing a huge crisis. If things went wrong, they could all be doomed. In the first vehicle, 3 assistants were terrified, trembling with fear. As ordinary people, when had they ever seen such a scene? Breaking stones with bare hands. A slap could make your head explode. Would these fierce individuals not kill us? Chun Yang took his position and quietly reminded Zhuo Xiaojing. Get in the car. Go to your dad's vehicle. Zhuo Xiaojing was already injured. Staying behind wouldn't help Chun Yang at all, so he obediently got in the car. Just as he was about to act, bang. A gunshot rang out. A bullet hit right under Zhuo Xiaojing's feet. Stop. Don't move. One of the senior combatants aimed a handgun at Zhuo Xiaojing. Bang. Another gunshot rang out. The senior combatant was shot in the head and fell to the ground. Xiaojing, get in the car. It was Chun Yang, who pulled out a handgun from his personal space and accurately hit the target. creating an opportunity for Zhuo Xiaojing to get into the vehicle. Zhuo Xiaojing leaped and jumped to the side of the car. Zhuo Wuyang quickly opened the car door, allowing his son to climb in. Brother Yang, you should come too. Qin Yang shook his head. I can't. You take care of uncle, don't worry about me. The situation changed too quickly. By the time the others realized that Qin Yang had shot one of their own, they were suddenly alarmed. 9 people simultaneously aimed their guns at Qin Yang. Naturally, Qin Yang wouldn't stay put and let them shoot him. Bang, bang, bang. The gunfight officially erupted. Including the crew-cut individual, all 9 opened fire. Qin Yang utilized his agility, dodging and weaving, rolling and jumping. He took various positions to evade while counterattacking. Bang, bang, bang. In less than 3 seconds, Qin Yang hid behind a bulletproof vehicle after firing just 3 shots. In contrast, the enemies had fired more than 10 shots, all of which he dodged. He fired only 3 shots, but each one hit the mark, all headshots. In a brief 3 seconds, 4 bullets eliminated 4 enemies. Truly a master marksman. Chapter 122, A Heavenly Soldier Descends. Who exactly is he? Wow, this kid is a sharpshooter? Get down. Qin Yang's stunning performance frightened the others, who shouted and no longer dared to stand boldly. To avoid the bullets, each of them scrambled for cover as quickly as possible. Some hid behind stone walls. Others crouched below dirt mounds, while others lay in low-lying areas and even in a puddle, swallowing a mouthful of dirty water and mud. The foul odor was overwhelming, almost making them lose their minds. Died down, completely shocked. Watching Qin Yang wield a handgun and wreak havoc, he rubbed his eyes, unable to believe that this was not a movie but a real gunfight. How did Qin Yang have a gun? And how was his marksmanship so incredible? Who exactly was he? Zhuo Xiaojing, on the other hand, was starry-eyed. Dad, Brother Yang is so cool. Absolutely amazing. His shooting is so precise. Zhuo Wuyang looked at Qin Yang, equally astonished. This nephew was becoming increasingly unfathomable. Not simple at all. He wondered how his brother Chun had raised such an impressive son. Ding Qiufeng was so scared that he fell to the ground, burying his face in the dirt. He didn't even dare to lift his head. The gunfight had happened so suddenly that everyone had no time to take cover and could only drop to the ground to avoid being hit by stray bullets. Ding Qiufeng regretted it deeply. If he had known Qin Yang was so formidable, he wouldn't have provoked him. I'm not sure what kind of luck Ding Xiang has had to bring in such a formidable person. Headshots everywhere. Brother, are you mistaken? This isn't a video game. It's the real world. Are you not afraid of going to jail for playing like this? Ku Tianxiao huddled in a corner, filled with fear and anger. Who is this person? Right from the start, he took out his own 4 men. How is he supposed to explain this to his superiors? No way. He must take him down today. Otherwise, if the higher-ups blame him, he definitely won't get away unscathed. Everyone, let's attack together. Kill him. The remaining 6 people immediately launched a more intense assault. Bang, pop, crash. Various items around were hit by countless bullets. Qin Yang took cover behind a bulletproof vehicle, dodging again and again, always running around it. He didn't dare to venture far, fearing Ding Qiufeng might take others as hostages to force him to surrender. He could only stay near the bulletproof vehicle to protect the convoy. Swoosh. A crack appeared in the car window. Inside, Ding Xiang anxiously suggested, Xiaoyang, let's give up the raw stones and drive the bulletproof vehicle out directly. Is that possible? The fierce gunfight left her in a state of panic. Qin Yang could be shot at any moment, and the entire convoy could be wiped out. At that moment, the billions worth of jade raw stones didn't matter anymore. Staying alive was the priority. Qin Yang glanced at her. No way. Not to mention whether we can break out. The key is that I have to hold on a bit longer. We can't lose the raw stones, and these people must be brought to justice. These individuals were ruthless killers, all armed. If they were allowed to escape, it would pose a great threat to society. Quickly close the window. I can handle this. Qin Yang said, not looking at her anymore, focusing on the attackers. Of course, he didn't tell her the truth. The real reason he had to keep these people was that they were spies from a small island nation, lurking within the territory. Each one posed a significant threat, having already caused, or currently causing, or inevitably causing great harm in the future. Finally, they had all gathered in one place. This was the best opportunity for a trap. Qin Yang was putting himself at risk as bait, waiting for the Black Tiger's arrangements. As the gunfight reached this level, Ding Qiufeng's heart was already tight with anxiety. It couldn't drag on any longer. Time had passed, and the police could arrive at any moment. Master Tian, you must hurry up. We need to resolve these people in the shortest time possible. He didn't want to spend his days in a cage starting tomorrow. Ku Tianxiao was also anxious, but he had already made arrangements and was full of confidence. Don't worry, young Master Ding. In another 3 minutes, that kid will be finished. Ding Qiufeng was delighted. Oh, Master, do you have a good plan? Kita Koji leaned in and whispered, I've arranged for people to surround him from behind. It's a 2-pronged approach. No matter what, this kid won't escape. When the time comes, we'll shoot from all directions. Even if he asks like the Monkey King, he can't get out of my grasp. Ding Qiufeng was overjoyed and couldn't help but give a thumbs up. Master Tian, one word, awesome. He looked up and noticed a few people sneaking toward Qin Yang's back from a blind spot. At that moment, Qin Yang suddenly felt a wave of unease. The gunfire from the opposite side seemed to have diminished. Could it be that they were preparing for an even fiercer attack? In less than 3 minutes, Qin Yang was already surrounded, his back exposed to the gunfire. He looked around, still searching for the enemy. Ding Qiufeng's face showed a smile. Master Tian, the situation is set. Tonight, I'll celebrate your victory. Kita Koji grinned lewdly. Young Master Ding, make sure to find a few lovely ladies. I like them with curves. The two exchanged smiles, already envisioning Qin Yang being riddled with bullets, a tragic sight. Bang, bang, bang. A series of loud noises came from the service area South Auxiliary Road. 3 black vans swiftly broke through the blockade and entered the service area. In the blink of an eye, more than a dozen plainclothes personnel jumped out, each agile and nimble as rabbits. They quickly found suitable spots and hid in shooting blind spots, launching a fierce attack. Everyone was armed, and several even had submachine guns. A barrage of bullets rained down, hitting most of the gunmen. Only one with a crew cut, exceptionally skilled, attempted to break through. Qin Yang stood up and fired a shot. Bang! The crew cut man was shot in the thigh and fell to the ground. Everyone be careful. This person is a master. Qin Yang warned loudly. 2 skilled fighters rushed in, seized the crew cut man's handgun, and together handcuffed and shackled him, completely restraining him. Kita Koji crouched low, trying to escape, but was spotted by Qin Yang. Don't move. Qin Yang pointed his gun at Kita Koji. Kita Koji, should I call you Master Divine Eye, or Kita Koji? Kita Koji was so frightened that he sat down on the ground. It's over. He never expected that a special department had long known his identity. Now, he couldn't deny it even if he wanted to. Qin Yang sneered. Handcuff him and interrogate him thoroughly. This little guy has no idea how long he's been lurking in the country and how many bad things he has done. We need to dig it all out. An operative nearby immediately took out handcuffs. Yes, Kita Koji's face turned ashen. After years of lurking, he had never exposed himself. How did he get caught today? No matter how hard he thought, he couldn't figure out where he went wrong. One thing he was certain of was that his days of causing trouble in the country were completely over. What awaited him was, perhaps it was the long confinement, or maybe just a peanut. Ding Qiufeng was terrified. Lying on the ground, his pants were damp. If you get closer, you could faintly smell an unpleasant odor. Qin Yang glanced at him with disgust and quickly moved away. A leading squad captain adjusted his appearance, his face serious, and jogged over. Snap. He stood at attention and saluted. Chapter 123. The Beautiful Housekeeper. Welcome home, young master. Report, comrade advisor. All the criminals have been subdued. Please give instructions. This team was composed of elite members from a specific organization, specially cooperating with Qin Yang's actions. Qin Yang's expression changed, becoming particularly serious. He raised his hand in return. Take all the criminals back. Use severe interrogation. These individuals won't talk unless they are forced. They must have buried many traps in the region and incited a lot of people. We need to dig out all the bad things they've done, one by one. He pointed at Ding Qiufeng's subordinates. As for these people, have the police investigate. Those with clean backgrounds should receive a minor punishment, but anyone with a questionable background will face severe penalties. Lastly, he pointed at Ding Qiufeng. Especially this young Master Ding. He needs special attention. Upon hearing this, Ding Qiufeng instantly felt hopeless, his face filled with despair. It's over. It's completely over. The cleanup of the scene was quick and efficient. In less than 10 minutes, all the dead and alive were taken away. 3 black vans arrived quickly and left just as fast. Soon after, police vehicles also arrived. One person from the team was left behind to handle the aftermath. Qin Yang directly got into the car and returned to Jiangqing. On the way back, Ding Xiang kept stealing glances at Qin Yang. Her mouth opened countless times, only to close again. Now, Qin Yang seemed both familiar and strange to her. She felt both curious and a bit fearful. This man had great skills, could find opportunities, and was skilled at gambling. He carried a gun and had remarkable marksmanship. He seemed very familiar with personnel from special departments and appeared to hold a significant position. What kind of man is he? Like a riddle. Impossible to figure out. Qin Yang suddenly turned his head to look at her. Why are you stealing glances at me? Do you have any ulterior motives? Ding Xiang was startled. Her pretty face instantly flushed. Pooh, how shameless. Who has any ulterior motives towards you? Qin Yang suddenly became serious. Xiang, just say what you want to say. Don't hold back. Unfortunately, his serious expression broke the next second, a teasing smile appearing at the corner of his mouth, which inexplicably calmed Ding Xiang's heart. The familiar Qin Yang was back. But, is he still the Qin Yang I know? Who exactly are you? Qin Yang looked at Ding Xiang's face filled with confusion and curiosity, feigning indifference. You still don't know who I am? Qin Yang, 22 years old. Hails from a small village in Jiangqing City, Binjiang County, Qianshan Town. His family has been farming for generations, with a clean family background. He paused for a moment and asked with a smile, "Is there anything else you want to know? For example, do I have money, a car, or a house?" Ding Xiang chuckled. "Do you think this is a matchmaking session? I'm not interested in those questions. I just want to know if you have a partner." Qin Yang played along, pretending to look pitiful. "My family is poor, and I'm still single. Miss Ding, could you pity me and introduce someone?" Ding Xiang felt secretly pleased but playfully hit him. "You big flirt. How could you not have a girlfriend? Don't go out and cause trouble for the girls." In that instant, their relationship not only didn't cool down but seemed to deepen, filled with a warm and playful atmosphere. After a short while, Qin Yang took the initiative to explain, Xiang, you don't need to worry. I am who I am, and I will remain the same. As for my other identities, I can't say much, and you don't need to think too much about it. Everything is just like before." Ding Xiang nodded silently, feeling grateful. "Thank you. Not only did you help me win the competition, but you also protected the raw stones and so many people. Without Ding Xiufeng, you've cleared an obstacle for me. Now, my only opponent left is Ding Feng. As long as I defeat her, I can become the next head of the Ding family and fulfill my grandfather's and father's wishes." Qin Yang smiled. "No need to be polite. And don't worry. I believe you can defeat her and achieve final victory. If it really doesn't work out, you still have me. I will definitely help you." Ding Xiang's face lit up with a smile, feeling warm and touched. The convoy moved smoothly into the urban area of Jiangxing City. Qin Yang ensured the safe delivery of the raw stones to the warehouse before parting ways with Ding Xiang. He then headed straight to the lakeside villa with Zhuo Wuyang and Zhuo Xiaojing. Before they set off, he had already called the housekeeper, Bao Qingqing, to prepare 2 rooms. "Uncle, Xiaojing, you can stay with me for now. Later, once Xiaojing earns money and buys a house, you can choose wherever you want to live." Zhuo Xiaojing seemed indifferent, but Zhuo Wuyang frowned. "Isn't it inconvenient to stay in your place? Housing in the city is extremely expensive. Most families have very limited living space. Having 2 more people living long-term might not be ideal." Qin Yang waved his hand and smiled. "How could it be inconvenient? It will definitely be convenient. Uncle, you and Xiaojing can rest assured and stay as long as you like." Zhuo Wuyang didn't refuse again, thinking he would stay for a couple of days and then find a suitable excuse to move out, ensuring he wouldn't disrupt their life. The car stopped at the villa's entrance. Qin Yang got out and, along with Xiaojing, helped Zhuo Wuyang down. "Uncle, we've arrived." Zhuo Wuyang looked up and was stunned. "Is this your home?" The villa in front of him was situated beautifully by the mountains and water, in an excellent location. The scenery was lovely, and the environment was exquisite. The key point was that it was both large and luxurious, decorated like a royal residence. It was a far cry from his imagined apartment buildings and units. Qin Yang nodded. "This villa was also just purchased not long ago. My parents haven't moved in yet." Zhuo Wuyang didn't know what to say. Zhuo Xiaojing, however, was extremely excited. "Yang, you're amazing. Can you even live in such a big house?" Qin Yang chuckled. "Xiaojing, I can't live here alone. That's why I invited you all to help out." The 3 of them laughed heartily. As they entered the villa's courtyard, they were greeted by a stunningly beautiful woman with an enchanting figure. She was striking. The housekeeper, Bao Qingqing, along with the cleaning staff, cooks, and security, awaited them at the door. "Welcome home, young master." This scene startled Zhuo Wuyang and Zhuo Xiaojing. "Wow, are we entering a wealthy family?" Qin Yang smiled and nodded at the beautiful housekeeper. "Qingjie, I told you to be a bit more casual, but you never listen." Bao Qingqing smiled sweetly. "Young master, it's just a title. We feel that calling you this shows respect and is convenient. You should just go along with it." Qin Yang shook his head. "All right, as long as you're happy." He pointed to Zhuo Wuyang and Zhuo Xiaojing. "Qingjie, this is Uncle Zhuo, a close friend of my father and also my lifesaver. You must take good care of him from now on." Bao Qingqing quickly led everyone in greeting. "Hello, Mr. Zhuo. You can call me Xiao Qing. If you need anything, just let me know." Zhuo Wuyang was startled and quickly dodged. "I'm not an old master. You can just call me Old Zhuo, young lady." Chapter 124, Sizzling Beauty Sister, Who Sent You? In response to Zhuo Wuyang's modesty, Bao Qingqing covered her mouth and smiled, but did not speak. Qin Yang then introduced Zhuo Xiaojing. "This is Xiaojing, Uncle Zhuo's son, and also my brother. The 2 of them will be living here from now on. I appreciate your help with them." Bao Qingqing promptly greeted Zhuo Xiaojing and expressed to Qin Yang that it was no trouble at all. It must be said that besides being beautiful and having a stunning figure, Bao Qingqing was meticulous in her work. Her interpersonal skills were also commendable. She was experienced and thorough in her dealings. Being a housekeeper was truly a waste of her talents. Fortunately, Qin Yang paid well, comparable to that of senior executives in most companies. For the time being, Bao Qingqing was very satisfied with her boss. Young, capable, handsome, and wealthy, he was kind to people, and most importantly, he was generous and straightforward, treating others very well. Such a boss would be hard to find. As long as he didn't mind her, she would definitely not leave. After showing Zhuo Wuyang and Zhuo Xiaojing around their rooms and helping them settle in their luggage, they got everything arranged. A few people were sitting in the living room drinking tea. Yang, I miss my sister. I want to go find her, what do you think? Zhuang Xiaojing said a bit shyly. Qin Yang slapped his forehead. Oh, look at my memory. Xiaojing, why don't you just call your sister over and get familiar with the way? You two will be living here, and she will definitely come often. Let us have her over to recognize the place. Later, we can go out to eat, and I'll treat you to a welcome meal. Zhuang Xiaojing cheered loudly and immediately called his sister to come meet them. Zhuang Wuyang looked at Qin Yang. Yang, there's really no need for a welcome meal. It's a waste of money. Qin Yang smiled and advised him. Uncle, it's your first time at my home. I definitely want to show my appreciation. Besides, you haven't seen my dad in years. A little ceremony is necessary. When we go to the hotel later, I'll pick up my parents. Just imagine. My dad will definitely be very happy to see you. When you old friends meet, there will be so much to talk about. Suddenly, Zhuang Wuyang was filled with anticipation. Yes, nearly 20 years without seeing each other. It really feels like a lifetime. In less than an hour, a woman named Bao Qingqing led a stunning beauty into the room with a commanding presence. She was tall and slender, with a beautiful face. Throughout, she maintained a subtle smile, exuding a strong confidence that suggested she was in control and unafraid of challenges. Her most striking feature was her figure, fit, fiery, and radiating a wildness. Sis, you're here. Zhuang Xiaojing rushed over excitedly like a child. The beautiful woman playfully poked him on the forehead and patted his shoulder. Not bad, you've grown. You look sturdier. Zhuang Xiaojing touched his head sheepishly. Hee. In front of my sister, I seem to never grow up. The beautiful woman quickly walked over to Zhuang Wuyang, crouched down, and checked on his health. Dad, you're here too. How have you been lately? Zhuang Wuyang smiled. Very well, everything is good. Let me introduce you. He pointed to Qin Yang. This is the son of my sworn brother, Qin Yang. Yang, this is my daughter. Zhuang Hongmei, who is 25 this year. Ah, still no partner? Zhuang Hongmei interrupted Zhuang Wuyang, stamping her foot. Dad, why bring this up in front of outsiders? Zhuang Wuyang waved it off. Yang is not an outsider. You two should get to know each other more. Since you're both in Jiangqing, it's good to help each other out. This time, Yang brought us to Jiangqing, which was very thoughtful. Zhuang Hongmei looked at Qin Yang. Hello. Thank you for taking care of my dad. Before Qin Yang could respond, Zhuang Xiaojing jumped in. Sis, from now on, I've decided to stick with Yang. He is my boss. Zhuang Hongmei raised her eyebrows and looked at Qin Yang. Qin Yang, what industry are you in Jiangqing? Are you planning to arrange a position for my brother? Qin Yang was taken aback, not expecting that. As soon as they met, the beautiful woman asked such a question. I currently don't have a stable career, but for the next step. Zhuang Hongmei's expression changed. If you haven't figured it out yourself, how can you arrange things for my brother? My brother is honest and kind. You can't take advantage of him. From the first glance at the villa, Zhuang Hongmei felt filled with doubt and even vigilance. There are no free lunches. Qin Yang claimed to be the son of her father's sworn brother, but they hadn't been in touch for nearly 20 years. Why did he suddenly appear now? Just looking at this villa, it was clear that Qin Yang was a typical second-generation rich kid. How many of those are reliable? Someone who doesn't even know what they want to do is still talking about giving my brother a future? Is that a joke? Most likely. He is eyeing my brother's skills and wants him to be a free enforcer, helping him show off and act tough. Qin Yang rubbed his temples, feeling quite frustrated. He really didn't know how to continue the conversation. Fortunately, Zhuo Wuyang timely spoke up to help him out. Hey girl, don't be like that. Xiao Yang is also well-meaning. No matter the outcome, we shouldn't blame him. Shuo Xiaojing jumped in again. Yes, sis. Yang Gu is really impressive, not as you think. Zhuo Hongmei felt even more disdain for Qin Yang. Not only was her little brother trapped, but even her father, an old hand, had fallen for his sweet talk and believed him completely, even feeling grateful. Fine. I'll endure for now. Once I find the opportunity, I will definitely expose your hypocritical face. Qin Yang, I'm really sorry. I was a bit hasty just now, please don't mind. I believe you won't take advantage of my silly little brother, after all. He is your brother too. The last sentence was emphasized heavily. Qin Yang understood immediately. This was a warning. Sister Zhua, don't worry, Xiaojing is my brother. How could I possibly take advantage of him? Even if I were to deceive myself, I wouldn't mislead him. Zhuo Hongmei appeared to smile, but inwardly, she was scoffing. You think I can't see through you? Who isn't a brother to someone like you? You're just looking to take advantage of your brother, aren't you? It was getting late. After chatting for a while, Qin Yang suggested going to a hotel for dinner, planning to book a private room at the Shanghai Hotel to welcome Zhuo Wuyang. Why go to the Shanghai Hotel? Zhuo Hongmei suddenly raised an objection. I think the food at the Yueguang Bay Hotel is quite special. Why don't we go there? Qin Yang explained. I haven't been to the Yueguang Bay Hotel, but I dined at the Shanghai Hotel during a class reunion last time. It's a bit pricey, but both the taste and the environment are quite good. Zhuo Hongmei shook her head. I know about the Shanghai. It seems alright. However, compared to Yueguang Bay, it falls short in terms of environment, portion sizes, taste, hygiene, service, and reputation. The key is that I am a member there, so I can get a discount. Absolutely affordable and trustworthy. Qin Yang nodded. Alright, Let's go to the Moon Bay, it's on me. Although Qin Yang intended to acquire the Moon Bay Hotel, he had never been there himself. The reason he dared to do this was entirely based on the information provided by the system. Since the intelligence indicated it was a sure profit, it must be correct. Qin Yang just happened to take this opportunity to conduct a field visit. Zhuo Hongmei shook her head again. No way, you've helped us so much. How can I let you treat? This meal, no matter what, should be on me. Qin Yang was speechless. Why does this beautiful woman always oppose me? Where did I offend her? Is she sent by fate to give me a hard time? Chapter 125, The Arrival of President Zhua. You must have gone through a lot these years, right? Fine, let us go to the hotel first. Qin Yang raised his hands in surrender. As for who pays, that is not important. We can discuss it later. Zhuo Hongmei wanted to argue again. Who pays is very important. How can we not clarify this? But she was interrupted by Zhuo Wuyang, who hinted that she shouldn't be too aggressive. She had to give in. Uncle, you and Sister Zhuo go ahead to the hotel. I'll drive to pick up my parents. Qin Yang greeted Zhuo Wuyang and then looked at Zhuo Hongmei. Sister Zhuo, could you please book a private room and go in first? I'll be there shortly. Zhuo Hongmei nodded. When she came, she drove a red Volkswagen, which could take her father and younger brother there. They split up. Qin Yang drove his Jeep Wrangler to the first municipal hospital to pick up his father Qin Zhongshi and mother Yang Aihua. Zhuo Hongmei drove, taking Zhuo Wuyang and Zhuo Xiaojiang straight to Moon Bay. Dad, do you know this Qin Yang? He suddenly came to Jiangcheng, and I had no prior news at all. Zhuo Hongmei asked while driving. Zhuo Wuyang smiled. This matter has deep roots. I never told you before. Years ago, by chance, I once saved Qin Yang. He was very young back then and almost got abducted by traffickers. I found him and returned him to his father. His father, who is your Uncle Chen, was very grateful. Plus, we hit it off and became sworn brothers. Later, I got injured and never came back to Jiangcheng, so we lost contact. This time, when Qin Yang came on a business trip to Cayenne City, your Uncle Chen asked him to find me. Then, by chance, he got to know your younger brother, and they got along well. That is why your brother wants to join him. Zhuo Xiaojiang interjected. Yes, at that time we didn't even know our families were connected. Brother Yang is really great. He not only helped me, but also gave me money and let me work in Jiangcheng. Zhuo Hongmei impatiently interrupted him. Silly brother. Do you really think he is doing this for your good? Is it really that simple? Zhuo Wuyang looked at Zhuo Hongmei in surprise. Girl, it seems you have a deep prejudice against Xiaoyang. Zhuo Hongmei shook her head. Dad, I don't have a prejudice against him. I just feel that there's no love without a reason. How can he be so good to you right after meeting? Especially considering his background. How could a rich second-generation person be so kind? Zhuo Wuyang thought for a moment, feeling a bit uncertain. Girl, he doesn't seem like a rich second generation to me. From my memory, my brother Chen comes from a very ordinary family. Zhuo Hongmei countered. Then how did he get that villa? If he's not a rich second generation. At just 22, where would he get that much money? Zhuo Wuyang was stumped. Yeah, where did he get all that money? He turned to Zhuo Xiaojiang. Xiaojiang, do you know? Zhuo Xiaojiang scratched his head. I think you guys are overthinking it. Yang Gu is very capable. That money might just be what he earned himself. He knows several wealthy women, all big bosses and stars. Zhuo Hongmei suddenly realized, and her disdain deepened. So he is that kind of person. Initially, she thought he was just a somewhat unreliable rich second generation who liked to fool people. Now it seems, he is either a young man indulging in a life of luxury or a man who relies on others for support. Either way, he doesn't seem like a reliable boss. In a moment, Zhuo Wuyang was also uncertain. Let's wait and see. If it doesn't work out, we can move out. Xiaojiang can find an excuse to look for another job. Zhuo Hongmei nodded immediately, agreeing with this idea. However, Zhuo Xiaojiang was less willing, pouting and saying nothing. Soon, a red Volkswagen stopped in front of the Moon Bay Grand Hotel. The large-scale, beautiful environment and luxurious decor made Zhuo Xiaojiang exclaim in admiration. Sister, this place must be very expensive, right? Zhuo Wuyang also looked at her questioningly. Having traveled extensively, he wasn't easily surprised. Yet he could tell that such high-end standards wouldn't come cheap. Zhuo Hongmei smiled lightly. It's fine, I can get a discount. The three entered the luxurious lobby, where several doormen and receptionists bowed in unison. Hello, General Manager Zhu. Zhuo Wuyang and Zhuo Xiaojiang were taken aback. Oh my goodness, are we seeing things? Zhuo Xiaojiang pointed at himself in confusion. Are they calling us? Zhuo Wuyang slapped him on the head. Who are you? Do they know you? Still dreaming of being a boss? Zhuo Hongmei laughed. Dad, they are calling me. Zhuo Wuyang was shocked. You? Zhuo Xiaojiang was both surprised and delighted. Sister, you're the general manager? Tell us, are you working here or are you the boss? Zhuo Hongmei smiled. I've told you before, I work at the Grand Hotel. I am the general manager here. Zhuo Xiaojiang grabbed Zhuo Hongmei's hand and jumped up. Sister, you are amazing. General manager? That sounds impressive. Are you the top person? Zhuo Hongmei laughed as she patted Zhuo Xiaojiang's hand. At your age, how can you still be so surprised? I guess I am the top person. The owner of this hotel is very wealthy, worth billions, and he rarely visits the hotel. Usually, a representative of the owners is stationed here. However, he is only responsible for financial oversight. The specific business operations and management are all handled by me. Zhuo Wuyang feels very pleased. His daughter has always been smart and sensible since she was young, competitive and determined. In terms of practice, she is just as good as the boys. She has already reached the level of a junior warrior. Unexpectedly, she is also so capable in her work. At such a young age, she has become the general manager of such a large hotel. He looks at his daughter deeply. Girl, these years must have been tough for you, right? Have you endured a lot of hardship? Zhuo Hongmei's eyes are a bit red, her eyes moist. Dad, I'm doing well. Don't worry. I will work hard to earn money and take you to the best hospital to see the best doctors. I will definitely get your illness cured. Zhuo Wuyang feels a great sense of comfort and is very excited. Zhuo Xiaojing, however, feels ashamed. His sister works so hard, while he has achieved nothing. Soon, Zhuo Hongmei takes her father and brother to the 6th floor to book the best private room. Mr. Zhuo, I'm sorry. The Supreme Hall has been booked by Mr. Lu tonight, says the dining director, a capable and attractive woman. He booked it. Zhuo Hongmei is taken aback. Director Shui, do you know who he is entertaining? Director Shui Yufeng thinks for a moment and shakes her head. I don't know. Mr. Lu is very mysterious and hasn't told anyone. He just instructed to host according to the highest standards. Zhuo Hongmei furrows her brows and remains silent for 3 seconds. Then she waves her hand. Forget it. You all do your best to ensure a good reception. Don't let him find any faults. Director Shui's expression is serious as she nods firmly. I'm on duty today, and I will pay special attention. Zhuo Hongmei smiles, trying to ease her nerves. Is the champion hall still available? Director Shui immediately nods. Yes, I'll arrange it for you right now. Zhuo Hongmei nods and leads the two into the champion hall. A moment later, the executive chef enters the champion hall to personally ask Zhuo Hongmei, what dishes should we prepare for tonight's banquet? Zhuo Hongmei waves her hand. No need to be too elaborate, just make a few of your best dishes. This is for my dad and my brother, so it can be casual. The executive chef, in his 40s, has good insight and immediately greets the two, calling them uncle and younger brother, which makes Zhuo Wuyang feel quite embarrassed. Little brother, I'm not that much older than you. Calling me uncle feels a bit too much, doesn't it? As the executive chef is about to leave, Zhuo Hongmei calls him back. Have you placed the order for the dishes for the Supreme Hall? The executive chef replies respectfully, Mr. Lu just instructed me, and I have already arranged the preparation of the dishes. Wait a moment. Should we serve your table first, or? Zhuo Hongmei shakes her head. No need. You prepare for the Supreme Hall first. Make sure to prepare meticulously and give it your all. The guests are happy, so Mr. Lu has nothing to say. The executive chef nods in agreement and quickly goes to prepare. There are no outsiders in the private room anymore. Zhuo Wuyang can't help but ask, who exactly is this Mr. Lu you mentioned? He seems a bit difficult to deal with. Zhuo Hongmei pretends to be relaxed. It's nothing, Dad. He is the owner's representative and has the responsibility to supervise and guide our work. So, it's inevitable that he will be a bit picky at times. Zhuo Wuyang nods. All right, you handle work matters as you see fit. I believe you can manage it well. If you really find it unhappy, my girl, don't ever compromise yourself. Zhuo Hongmei feels energized by her family's care and support, which is more effective than any remedy. Sister, I support you too. I will work hard to earn money for Dad's treatment, and I can support you. Zhuo Xiaojing clenches his fist, looking very determined. Zhuo Hongmei can't help but chuckle and pokes him on the forehead. You should find a job and work steadily. In the future, find a partner and support your wife properly. Zhuo Xiaojing scratches his head and keeps grinning. At the city hospital, Qin Yang appears in the ward, and both Qin Zhongshi and Yang Aihua are overjoyed. A mother's worry is never far when her child travels far. Qin Yang has been on a business trip for several days and has finally returned. Yangzi, was everything smooth during this business trip? Qin Zhongshi hints. Qin Yang understands immediately. Dad, it went very smoothly. In terms of work, not only did I complete my friend's commission, but I also made a little profit. Your son is preparing to become his own boss next. Yang Aihua is thrilled. My son is amazing. What business are you planning to do? Qin Yang replies. I'm planning to buy a hotel to practice. If the operation goes well, I'll open more and create a high-end chain brand. Yang Aihua is speechless. Yangzi, going this big, do you have that much money? Please don't lose it all. Qin Yang is full of confidence. Mom, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Qin Zhongshi finally can't help but ask, what about other aspects besides work? Qin Yang grins, and doesn't he want to keep his dad in suspense? Dad, in terms of personal matters, everything is also going very smoothly. I not only found Uncle Zhua's family, but I also invited them all to Jiangqing. Now, you guys come with me to the hotel for a meal to welcome Uncle Zhua. Qin Zhongshi is stunned. It's hard to believe. Really? You invited him? We can meet now? Qin Yang nods seriously. Qin Zhongshi immediately jumps off the hospital bed and urges his wife to hurry up. He can't wait to see his old buddy. Qin Yang drives to the Moon Bay Hotel, taking his parents inside the lobby. Everything inside completely exceeds Chun Yang's expectations. The five-star hotel, worth 1 billion at market price, is indeed large and luxurious. The staff is very professional, providing warm service that makes them feel at home. They lead Chen Yang and his family to the top-floor banquet hall. As soon as they open the door, Chen Zhongshe rushed towards Zhuo Wuyang. Zhuo, my brother. Chen Gu. Zhuo Wuyang also stood up excitedly. The two old friends had not seen each other for nearly 20 years and embraced warmly. Next, they introduced each other. Hearing that Zhuo Hongmei was the general manager here, Chen Yang was a bit surprised. He really couldn't tell. Zhuo Hongmei was young. Yet she had single-handedly become the general manager of a five-star hotel. Her remarkable abilities and hard work were indispensable. Truly impressive. Yang Aihua was the most enthusiastic, specifically calling Zhuo Hongmei over, holding her hand, asking questions, and showering her with compliments about her looks, figure, knowledge, family background, and capabilities. The praise was almost excessive. It was as if he was about to ask, "Young lady, do you have a partner?" In front of her elders, Zhuo Hongmei could only hold back and not overstep. However, occasionally glancing at Chen Yang with sharper eyes revealed a hidden edge in her smile. "Sister Zhuo, have the dishes been ordered?" Chen Yang inquired. Zhuo Hongmei smiled brightly. "Xiao Yang, it's already taken care of. You don't have to worry about it in my territory." Chen Yang felt the hidden threat in her smile and immediately fell silent. If he couldn't provoke her, could he at least avoid her? In the banquet hall, the two families had their first big reunion, enjoying each other's company and chatting happily. Suddenly, the door to the private room was pushed open with a bang. A man in his 30s wearing a plaid shirt walked in. "Zhuo, so you are here." Zhuo Hongmei stood up reluctantly, forcing a smile. "Hello, Mr. Liu. I heard you are hosting guests in the Supreme Hall tonight. I've already instructed the staff to ensure a warm welcome for your guests, so they can experience the excellent service and quality of Moon Bay." Lu Renjia nodded in satisfaction. "Very good. However, for tonight's banquet to be perfect, I'm afraid I still need your cooperation, General Manager Zhuo." Zhuo Hongmei looked puzzled. "Oh." Lu Renjia smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Later, could you please come over to toast? I believe the guests will be even happier." Zhuo Hongmei frowned slightly, and then revealed an apologetic smile. "I'm really sorry, Mr. Liu. As you can see, I also have important guests to attend to tonight. It's quite inconvenient. Please forgive me." Lu Renjia's expression showed displeasure as he glanced at the people present, all dressed rather poorly. Clearly not the kind of guests who could be considered significant. "General Manager Zhuo, you can set this aside. My guests are important figures with high status. As the general manager, you cannot lose sight of priorities." Zhuo Hongmei felt anger rising, but held it back. "Since they are important figures, Mr. Liu, you should hurry to attend to them. You cannot neglect your guests. As for my side, you need not worry." This was essentially a dismissal. The conversation was clearly not going well. "You should leave quickly," she implied, albeit in a more polite manner. Lu Renjia was inherently petty. How could she not pick up on Zhuo Hongmei's underlying message? However, there was one thing she reminded herself. She really couldn't neglect her esteemed guests. Glancing at the time, Lu Renjia snorted coldly and hurriedly slammed the door behind him. The sound was quite jarring. Zhuo Hongmei's expression was very unsatisfactory. In front of her family, she could only suppress her feelings and try to adjust her emotions. "Are you okay?" Zhuo Wuyang asked with concern. "Is this person the one?" Chapter 127. "Do you still want to keep the position of general manager?" "That's right," Zhuo Hongmei said gloomily as she took a sip of tea. "This guy is the owner's representative, Lu Renjia. He always likes to throw his weight around, acting more important than the actual boss. You don't need to worry, this isn't the first time. The big boss supports and trusts me very much. It's fine." Zhuo Wuyang couldn't help but remind her, "Girl, it's better to offend a gentleman than a petty person. You still need to be cautious. That guy clearly has no tolerance. If he speaks ill of you in front of the big boss, it will ultimately be detrimental to you." Zhuo Hongmei felt a bit deflated. "Dad, I understand. I'll be careful in the future." The atmosphere became somewhat heavy. Chen Yang suddenly chimed in. "Sister Zhuo, why are you so averse to that person's demands?" Zhuo Hongmei shot him a glare. "What do you know? That guy is a notorious lecher. The whole hotel knows he has a reputation for being a sleazebag. He loves to take advantage of every opportunity to force me to drink more. At first, I didn't know the situation and almost fell for his tricks. Now that I know, do you think I would still be fooled?" Chen Yang was speechless. Dealing with such trash, it's indeed best to keep your distance. Unless you can kick him out. Unfortunately, with Zhuo Hongmei's current capabilities, that's clearly not possible. It goes without saying that Lu Renjia is either a relative of the big boss or has some special backing. He feels invincible and no one can get rid of him. We can only swallow our pride and compromise. Chen Yang thought to himself, what's up with Zheng Dongshan? Why bring in such a person at Moon Bay? He is more of a liability than an asset. Truly a major blunder. As the saying goes, a single mouse dropping can spoil a whole pot of porridge. Lu Renjia is undoubtedly that mouse dropping. He is incompetent when it comes to achieving goals. But he is definitely skilled at causing trouble. It's truly disgusting. Before long, the food and beverage director, Shui Yufeng, personally brought in drinks and dishes. The two families began to toast each other, and the atmosphere gradually warmed up again. Brother Zhua, let us have a drink. Qin Zhongshi raised his glass enthusiastically. Normally, having just undergone surgery, he definitely shouldn't drink. However, today is a special occasion. He insisted on having a drink, but just a small one would suffice. Zhuo Wuyang was also very happy. With a bang, their glasses clinked together, and both old friends displayed cheerful smiles. Qinyang has also relaxed today. The car can be called for a designated driver after a while. He joined everyone for drinks. As the hotel general manager, a junior warrior with excellent genes from Zhuo Wuyang and a good drinking capacity from Zhuo Hongmei, she certainly wouldn't fall short. Refusing Lu Rinjia's request purely out of fear of him pretending to be drunk and misbehaving would not be acceptable. Otherwise, with important VIPs at the hotel, she would definitely not shy away from personally hosting them. Of course, for such welcoming and hosting duties, sales representatives usually handle them. There is also a sales director at a higher level, so generally, she wouldn't need to step in personally. Seeing her father and brother today made Zhuo Hongmei very happy, and naturally, she wanted to have a drink to celebrate. A group of people was enjoying their drinks when suddenly, bang, the private room door was pushed open again. It was that familiar figure, Lu Rinjia. His face was slightly flushed, clearly having had a few drinks. He walked straight to Zhuo Hongmei's side and reached out to pull her. Manager Zhuo, come with me for a toast. Zhuo Hongmei was startled and immediately stood up, stepping aside to avoid him, her anger barely contained. Lu, what do you mean by this? Don't you think it's very rude to be so crude? Lu Rinjia suddenly realized and showed an apologetic expression. I'm sorry, I lost my composure just now. Please don't take it to heart. I meant well, trying to remind you. The VIP I'm hosting tonight is the hotel's big boss, Mr. Zheng. Think carefully about whether you want to go over and toast him. His tone began to shift. Originally, upon hearing it was Mr. Zheng, Zhuo Hongmei was prepared to go over, as Mr. Zheng had always been very supportive and trusting of her. It would be appropriate to show some respect. However, after Lu Rinjia's antics, she felt a strong sense of resistance. I work here based on my hard work and outstanding abilities, not by flattering others. Thank you for your kindness, but as I said, I have important guests today, and it's really inconvenient. I will definitely apologize to Mr. Zheng another day. Lu Rinjia's eyes widened in disbelief, almost popping out. Are you sure? I'm talking about Mr. Zheng, the big boss. Zhuo Hongmei held her head high, feeling quite proud. That's right, you can just go back. Lu Rinjia was so angry that his face turned pale, and his hand pointing at Zhuo Hongmei began to tremble. Do you know what you're saying? Not showing up for the big boss. You're the general manager, and now when asked to toast, you're still making excuses? Are you out of your mind? Do you even want to keep your position? In this situation, Zhuo Hongmei felt cornered. The anger she had been suppressing finally erupted like a volcano. Bang! She slammed the table. Do you think I can just quit whenever I want? I, Zhuo Hongmei, earn my keep with my strength. I believe that Mr. Zheng chose to work with me because of my management skills, not because of flattery. If you want to flatter someone, there's no need to involve me. Even if you try, it won't work. I won't cooperate. Lu Rinjia was stunned. He was at a loss due to Zhuo Hongmei's sudden outburst. He wanted to leave, but couldn't bring himself to do it. He wanted to continue lecturing, but couldn't handle Zhuo Hongmei. The atmosphere on site was incredibly awkward. Cough, cough. Suddenly, Qin Yang cleared his throat, breaking the deadlock. Sorry. Let me say a few words. He looked at Zhuo Hongmei. Sister Zhuo, since the big boss is here, it's only right for you to come out and greet them. I'll accompany you. I guarantee you won't suffer any loss. What do you think? Lu Rinjia felt a surge of joy in his heart. There are still smart people around who know not to cause a scene. Otherwise, that fierce woman surnamed Zhuo would definitely make them regret it. Just wait until we reach the VIP room and see how arrogant you can be. If I don't complain about you, how will I manage in this place in the future? Zhuo Hongmei glared at Qin Yang, wanting to refuse immediately, but was stopped by Zhuo Wuyang. Girl, I think what Xiao Yang said makes sense. It should be fine for him to accompany you. Why don't you just go over? Saying this, Zhuo Wuyang felt very uneasy inside. His daughter had worked hard in her career to reach the position of general manager, enduring countless pressures, hardships, and grievances. Just thinking about it made his heart ache. However, he also knew that this job was the result of her years of effort. She couldn't throw away years of hard work and dedication just because of a momentary impulse or a clash of emotions. Sometimes, we have to make sacrifices for the greater good. Qin Yang, this kid, understands the bigger picture, knows when to advance and retreat, and is quite thoughtful. He took the initiative to offer to accompany her, which shows responsibility. He is a real man. Under Zhuo Wuyang's pressure, Zhuo Hongmei had no choice but to relent. Silently picking up her glass, she walked toward the VIP room. Qin Yang was perceptive and took on the role of a waiter, carrying a wine dispenser and closely following behind her. Chapter 128. Is He close with Mr. Zheng? Lu Rinjia felt secretly pleased, excitedly trailing behind. He was already overjoyed. You stubborn girl, just wait. Let us see how fierce you can be. In front of the big boss, if you don't bow your head and admit your mistake. I will definitely not let this go easily. Hee. It would be best if you treat me to dinner, just the two of us, with a little drink. Those long legs and slim waist. TSK. The VIP room, as the best box in Moon Bay, was indeed extraordinary. The hundreds of square meters of space included a huge round table, a meeting area, a leisure area, a karaoke area, a small stage, and 2 private restrooms. There was even a luxurious guest room. The top-notch facilities, the most extravagant decor, and the warmest service. It's indeed a higher level than the previous one. Zheng Dongshan was having a meal when he suddenly noticed Qin Yang entering, and a smile appeared on his face. He was about to get up to greet him, but was stopped by Qin Yang's gaze. Although Zheng Dongshan found it strange, he complied and quietly sat back down, pretending not to recognize him. Zhua Hongmei did not notice the unusual behavior of her boss and proactively approached with a glass of wine. Mr. Zheng, I toast to you. Thank you for your continuous support and trust. Zheng Dongshan was in a good mood and was ready to raise his glass, but he was interrupted by Lu Rinjia. Mr. Zheng, I have something to say to you. Zheng Dongshan put down his glass. Go ahead. Lu Rinjia pointed at Zhua Hongmei. I told President Zhu early today that I was hosting you. I suggested she come over to greet you, but she refused to come. I had to go and invite her again before she reluctantly showed up. Zhua Hongmei was anxious and immediately explained to Zheng Dongshan. Mr. Zheng, it's not like that. I have always respected and admired you. How could I possibly neglect you? The main reason is that my family came from Cayenne City today, and we haven't seen each other for a long time. I specifically set up a welcome dinner for them at our hotel. Zheng Dongshan nodded with a smile. Welcoming family is understandable. Zhua Hongmei sighed in relief, but Lu Rinjia was not willing to give up and continued to stir trouble. Mr. Zheng, she is just making excuses. It's important to host family, but is there really no time to come over and greet you with a toast? This is clearly an excuse. Zheng Dongshan frowned. Then what do you suggest we do? Lu Rinjia secretly smirked but pretended to look aggrieved. Mr. Zheng, she completely ignored my suggestion earlier and was quite rude to me. Even slamming the table. She was very disrespectful. I demand an apology from her. And she should also treat me to a meal and raise a toast to show her sincerity. Zheng Dongshan fell silent in thought, while Zhua Hongmei felt a surge of anger. She wished she could tear Lu Rinjia's mouth apart. This lecher, not good at work, is a master at slandering others. Collaborating with him is a great sorrow in life. The scene fell into silence. A dog cannot change its habit of eating dung. Suddenly, Qin Yang said this, and it was clear who he was referring to. Lu Rinjia exploded in anger. You little brat. Who are you talking about? Qin Yang disdainfully shook his head. How would I know? Anyway, whoever fits the description is who it refers to. Lu Rinjia pointed at Qin Yang, wanting to explode, but realized that this guy wasn't T from Yuhu Bay at all. He had to look at Zhua Hongmei instead. President Zhu, did you see that? He called me a dog. You must make him apologize today, otherwise, I won't let this go. Zhua Hongmei glanced at Qin Yang. I brought you along to protect me, not to cause trouble. I finally calmed Mr. Zheng down, and now you go and stir things up? It's quite a spectacle, isn't it? You know how much effort I put into dealing with these people every day. Is it easy for me? Suddenly, Zheng Dongshan shot a fierce glare at Lu Rinjia, stood up, and walked over to Qin Yang. He reached out his right hand and put it on Qin Yang's shoulder. The two of them walked side by side to the main seat at the dining table. Brother, don't be angry. I'll give you the main seat. How about that? Isn't it loyal of me? Zheng Dongshan pressed Qin Yang down into the main seat and took the second position for himself, which originally belonged to Lu Rinjia. Lu Rinjia looked over in confusion, and Zheng Dongshan pointed to the seat closest to the door, the last one. You sit there. Lu Rinjia, feeling wronged, had no choice but to sit down gloomily. He really couldn't understand why Zheng always treated a young man like this. He didn't seem like a wealthy person at all. Zhua Hongmei was also taken aback. How did Qin Yang suddenly become the guest of honor, calling the big boss brother? She initially thought Qin Yang was a rich second generation. But after seeing Qin's parents, she dismissed that idea. The two elders were very simple, honest farmers, and didn't provide Qin Yang with any luxurious assets. So, Zhua Hongmei thought maybe Qin Yang was just a lucky person who made a bit of money, a flashy upstart. Perhaps he was the kind who deceived people everywhere. Otherwise, at his age, he couldn't possibly have earned so much money. Of course, there was also the possibility that he relied on women for money, which was even more disgraceful and less respectable. She never considered that Qin Yang actually knew the big boss Zheng, and, judging by the situation, Zheng seemed to respect him quite a lot. At least they were of the same level. How could that be possible? He was only 22. Qin Yang didn't hold back and sat down in the main seat, but he still didn't let Lu Rinjia off the hook. Brother Zheng, I'm a bit flattered here. Just now, Mr. Lu asked us to toast you. Now that you hold me in such high regard, how can I bear it? Zheng Dongshan glared again at Lu Rinjia. You fool, has your brain been kicked by a donkey? You can't recognize a great person. After scolding Lu Rinjia, he turned to Qin Yang with a smile. Brother Chun, We've known each other for a while now. You know what kind of person I am. Qinyang agreed. Whether it was buying a villa or discussing prices for Yuehu Bay, Zheng Dongshan had always been very accommodating, actively lowering prices. At the last housewarming banquet, he also spent a lot of money. Their interactions were very pleasant, and Qinyang couldn't help but nod. Zheng Dongshan became happy and raised his glass. Brother Chun, I toast you to express my apologies. And by the way, I'm treating your table. You think I would let you pay for a meal in my hotel? Before Qinyang could refuse, Zheng turned to Zhua Hongmei. Zhua, remember this. That table's bill is on me. I said so. Zhua Hongmei quickly agreed. Qinyang raised his glass and clinked it with Zheng Dongshan's. Ding. Down it went in one gulp. Qinyang continued. Brother Zheng, I appreciate your friendship. However, at the beginning, we weren't planning to come. Later on, Mr. Liu said that if you didn't show up, you could forget about the general manager position. Such a threat. So here we are. Chapter 129. Boss Chen, you won't fire me, will you? Upon hearing this, Zheng Dongshan was instantly furious. Pointing at Lu Rinjia, he began to scold. What a disgrace. Who gave you the authority to just fire people? Do you even know who you are? I brought you in to do service work. And here you are acting like a big shot? Lu Rinjia was so scared that he stood up, not daring to say a word. Everything he had was given by Zheng Dongshan. To go against the big boss was to jeopardize his future. After scolding Lu Rinjia, Zheng Dongshan turned to Qinyang and began to explain in a low voice. Brother Chen, please forgive me. This guy is my wife's younger brother. Spoiled by my in-laws since childhood. My wife, as the older sister, also indulges him. The whole family caters to him, and he has developed a lot of bad habits. The deeper the blame, the more love there is. Zheng Dongshan and his wife were very affectionate. This was also why he abandoned his business in Longhua to develop in a different country, because his wife preferred the Western way of life. The children were heavily influenced by their mother and joined in the chaos. Zheng Dongshan felt isolated and had no choice but to go along with them. Qinyang could naturally see this. Zheng Dongshan's revelation about his relationship with Lu Rinjia was a plea for leniency. Qinyang took a sip of his drink. Hesitating to speak, Zheng Dongshan couldn't help but ask, Brother Chun, if you have something to say, just say it. Why are you hiding it from me? Feeling that he had played along enough, Qinyang finally spoke hesitantly. Brother Zheng, since you mentioned that Mr. Liu is your brother-in-law, I shouldn't meddle. However, for your own good, I feel I must remind you. Zheng Dongshan became serious. What is going on? Qinyang replied earnestly. As far as I know, Mr. Liu is quite infamous in Moon Bay. Almost everyone knows he has a nickname. The Salty Pig Hand. Since he entered the hotel, 3 beautiful women have been forced to resign. It's truly unbearable. This matter hasn't been reported to the police, but it has severely affected the normal operations of the hotel. We can't ignore it. Zheng Dongshan was shocked. He suddenly stood up and glared at Lu Rinjia. Come here. Lu Rinjia was terrified, trembling, and didn't dare to approach. Get over here. Zheng Dongshan shouted, nearly shaking the roof off. Lu Rinjia's face turned pale, his legs weak, as he shuffled over to Zheng Dongshan, stepping as if on cotton. Bang! Zheng Dongshan kicked hard. Lu Rinjia was kicked away 3 meters. Ouch! That hurts. Lu Rinjia clutched his stomach and couldn't get up. Zheng Dongshan, still furious, wanted to chase after him and continue the beating, but was pulled back by Qinyang. Brother Zheng, calm down. Zheng Dongshan pointed at Lu Rinjia, feeling frustrated. You fool. Given you such a great stage, you don't appreciate it and mess things up. Do you want to ruin my hotel? Mr. Zhua, I announce that starting today, Lu Rinjia will no longer hold the position of owner representative. Zhua Hongmei felt a surge of joy in her heart. Finally rid of this disgusting guy. On the surface, however, she remained subtle, merely nodding in agreement. It was hard to tell what she truly thought inside. Lu Rinjia's face turned pale as he crawled towards Zheng Dongshan. Brother-in-law? No, Mr. Zheng, please give me another chance. Zheng Dongshan sighed deeply and sat down. Now you regret it? Want to beg for mercy? Let me tell you. It's too late for that. This hotel will soon no longer belong to me. You better take care of yourself. Lu Rinjia slumped on the ground, utterly hopeless. Seeing this scene, Zhua Hongmei couldn't express how happy she was. Not only was she happy for herself, but she also felt relieved for her colleagues at the hotel who had to deal with such a disgusting person every day, always on guard and cautious. It was truly exhausting. Zheng Dongshan looked at Qinyang and took the initiative to mention the transfer. Brother Chun, your trip this time must have been quite rewarding, right? Qinyang laughed heartily. Thanks to your good wishes, I had a small harvest. Don't worry, Brother Zheng, what I promised you is ready. I can transfer the funds at any time. Zheng Dongshan was overjoyed. You, my brother, are truly remarkable. In just a few days, you've made 500 million? Perhaps even more. If I weren't about to leave this country, I would definitely learn a few tricks from you. Qinyang waved his hand. Not at all. Brother Zheng is my role model in learning. This time, I just got lucky, so I don't deserve such a compliment. Zheng Dongshan laughed happily. Then let's settle it. 500 million for my Moon Bay hotel. All accounts are closed as of tonight. Starting tomorrow morning, Moon Bay will belong to you. Qinyang was a bit surprised. Brother Zheng, you really act swiftly. Is it necessary to rush like this? Zheng Dongshan sighed. Meanwhile, Zhua Hongmei's eyes widened in disbelief. No matter what, she couldn't believe that Qinyang would have 500 million in funds and to buy Moon Bay Hotel at such a low price. As the hotel's general manager, no one knew its value better than she did. By market standards, Moon Bay is worth about 1 billion. However, in terms of potential, Moon Bay should be valued at 15 billion. Zheng Dongshan was selling it to Qinyang for just 500 million. Wasn't that a bit too generous? Qinyang was only 22 years old. Where did he get such influence? Lu Rinjiao on the ground was also stunned. Lying on the ground, he looked just like a big turtle. How is that possible? 500 million? Selling it to this guy? Has my brother-in-law lost his mind? He couldn't believe that everything before him was real. How he wished it were all just a dream. He hoped to wake up and everything would be back to normal. He would still be the imposing representative of the owners. At the dining table, Zheng Dongshan had a gloomy expression. Brother Chun, to be honest, I'm really anxious. I wish I could leave this country immediately. The business over there has been unattended for a while, and it has caused significant problems. We're losing over 1 million every day. I can't wait a second longer. Qinyang nodded in understanding. All right, I can sign the contract now, and the funds will be transferred simultaneously. Zheng Dongshan was overjoyed. He immediately arranged for his assistant to prepare the sales contract. In less than an hour, under the witness of Zhua Hongmei and the supervision of the relevant lawyers, Qinyang and Zheng Dongshan officially signed the contract. The Moon Bay Hotel had a new owner. Qinyang officially became the new proprietor. Zheng Dongshan specifically instructed his assistant to stay and fully cooperate with Qinyang to complete the remaining handover work. Brother Chun, I will soon be flying to that country. Zheng Dongshan held Qinyang's hand tightly, reluctant to let go. It's great to meet you. If you ever go to that country, be sure to look for me. Qinyang was also touched. Zhenggu, if I go over there, I will definitely find you. And if you come back, remember to look for me. I'll make sure to treat you to a few drinks. Zheng Dongshan responded with emotion. It's a deal. It's a deal. The two parted as if they were old friends. On the way back to the Zhuangyuan Hall, Zhua Hongmei still felt like she was dreaming. Xiaoyang. Was everything just now real? Qinyang was at a loss for words. Could it be that Zheng Dongshan is fake? Isn't he your boss? Zhua Hongmei immediately shook her head. Of course he is real. He is our boss. Qinyang smiled. That is good. I wasn't fooled. My 500 million has already been transferred to his account. Zhua Hongmei finally realized that this young man was indeed the new owner of Moon Bay and her new boss. Suddenly, she felt a little nervous. With a new owner, would there be any changes within the hotel? Cautiously, she glanced at Qinyang. Xiaoyang, no? I mean Qinyang, no, Mr. Chun. Zhua Hongmei almost broke down. I've always been at odds with you. You're not going to fire me, right? Chapter 130. The boss enters the tiger's den, and the beauty sets a trap. Qinyang was momentarily stunned, almost confused by her. Sister Zhua, to be honest. Do you think I'm a bad guy? Zhua Hongmei didn't dare to say anything on the surface, but inwardly, she was quite critical. Don't you know what kind of person you are? You don't look like a good person at all. Seeing her expression, Qinyang already knew the answer. He didn't want to clarify anything further and straightened his face. Zhua, as the new boss, I'm giving you your first task. Please arrange a position for me and Xiao Gang at the hotel. I want to familiarize myself with the situation first. Otherwise, as a boss, if I know nothing about the hotel, how can I manage it in the future? Zhua Hongmei, however, disagreed. You're the boss. You can just sit back and wait for the money to come in. I will handle the hotel affairs for you. Qinyang shook his head, his expression serious and his gaze sharp. He displayed the authority of a boss that brooked no opposition. That won't he do? As the big boss, I might not manage everything, but I must understand. I can refrain from meddling, but I cannot be ignorant. Faced with the boss's stern order, Zhua Hongmei could only comply unconditionally. What kind of positions do you want to arrange? Qinyang shrugged, showing a nonchalant attitude. It's a small matter. Just handle it as you see fit. I'm fine with anything. Watching Qinyang's back, Zhua Hongmei made a face. You handle it. Umph. You were so fierce just now, and now you're pretending to be generous. Just a moment ago, the strong-willed Zhua Hongmei was surprisingly intimidated by Qinyang. Her heart raced uncontrollably. Back in the main hall, Shui Xiaojing immediately asked, Sister, Yang, why did you take so long for a toast? Qinyang smiled and replied, Xiaogang, I just had a quick chat with your sister to arrange a position for us. Are you okay with that? Shui Xiaojing shrugged nonchalantly. I'll listen to Yang. Zhua Hongmei rolled her eyes. I really don't understand. Whose brother are you? Whatever they ask you to do, you just do it. Why don't you ask your sister what I think? Zhua Wuyang, listening, felt a bit confused. Xiaoyang, didn't you want Xiaogang to work with you? Why are both of you working here? Before Qinyang could respond, Zhua Hongmei chimed in with a strange tone. Dad, you might not know yet, but this big hotel will soon belong to Qinyang, our big boss. He is having Xiaogang work here to be his right-hand man. Not just Xiaogang. I will also be working for him. Zhuo Wuyang was extremely shocked. This big hotel was clearly impressive. It had a large scale and high standards. Owning such a big hotel must be worth a fortune. It was simply unimaginable. Really? This hotel belongs to Qin Yang? Zhuo Hongmei nodded. Absolutely. Just now in the VIP hall, my former boss was there, and they signed the contract and transferred the funds on the spot. From tomorrow morning, this big hotel will be under the Qin name. Zhuo Wuyang was speechless. Qin Zhongshu could hardly believe his ears. When did the Lao Qin family produce such a remarkable person? How could they possess such wealth? It hadn't happened in the last 300 years. Yang Aihua was filled with mixed emotions. She was shocked that such immense wealth had come so suddenly. But she was also delighted that her son was indeed impressive. Such a grand hotel belongs to her son. They are so wealthy. In the future, there will definitely be no worries about getting married and having children. Yes, there will be no worries about raising kids either. We can hire a nanny. That's great. The happiest one is still Zhuo Xiaojing. He jumped up excitedly. From now on, my sister, Yang Ge, and I can be together every day and never be apart. Zhuo Hongmei teased him. You two can be together. But don't drag me into it. Zhuo Xiaojing asked again. Sister, what kind of position are you planning to arrange for me? Zhuo Hongmei casually replied. You don't know anything yet. So start as a security guard to learn a bit. Gradually improve and aim for a security manager position, which has pretty good benefits. Zhuo Xiaojing had no objections to this. He then asked, what about Yang Ge? What position are you planning for him? He is our big boss. Zhuo Hongmei thought for a moment. An administrative officer. I think this position suits him quite well. Zhuo Xiaojing was a bit dissatisfied. Sister, this is unfair. I'm your real brother, and you're being biased towards Yang Ge. Zhuo Hongmei was both amused and helpless. How is that unfair? He has an education, experience. And he is good looking. What do you have? Zhuo Xiaojing retorted. I'm not ugly either. Zhuo Hongmei shot back. He is the big boss. How could I let him suffer? This reasoning was very convincing, and Zhuo Xiaojing immediately accepted it. With his brother settled, Zhuo Hongmei smiled and looked at Qin Yang. Congratulations. Big boss. Best wishes. Qin Yang was puzzled. What is there to celebrate? Zhuo Hongmei smiled happily. The manager of your administrative department is a stunning beauty. Qin Yang was even more suspicious. Are you really that kind-hearted? Arranging a beautiful woman just to please me? Zhuo Hongmei chuckled. You'll know if she is a beauty when you see her tomorrow. Deep down, she felt quite pleased. Bad guy, since you're asking for trouble, don't blame me. A man under Jiang Qingying would surely not have an easy time. Everyone enjoyed the meal, and the two families quickly grew closer. After dinner, Qin Yang took his parents back to the hospital. In fact, Qin Zhongshu's health had almost recovered. If it weren't for Bai Yuyan's recommendation, he would have been discharged long ago. His parents didn't want to stay in the lakeside villa, saying it was too luxurious. They felt they didn't have enough merit to enjoy such blessings, and that staying there would shorten their lifespan. The house in their hometown wasn't built well yet, so they had to continue staying in the hospital for observation and treatment. However, Su Wenqing was very quick in his actions. The house in the hometown should be completed soon. By then, the elderly couple would finally have a home. Qin Yang continued to stay in the lakeside villa with Zhuo Wuyang and Zhuo Xiaojing. As soon as they returned to the bedroom, Zhuo Wuyang called Zhuo Xiaojing in and gave him some earnest advice. Xiaojing, you'll move to the hotel dormitory tomorrow and focus entirely on your work. You don't need to worry about me. Yang Ge will arrange everything well. Make sure to perform well with him. He is a person who accomplishes great things. If you follow him, you will definitely achieve great success in the future. Don't let down his affection and trust in you. Zhuo Xiaojing nodded seriously. Dad, I know. I will give it my all. Before going to bed, Qin Yang briefed Bao Qingqing. Bao Qingqing understood and promised to take good care of the elder Zhuo. A restful night followed. In the morning, facing the beautiful scenery of the lake and mountains, Qin Yang took a deep breath. He felt his mood improve significantly, and his body relaxed. While enjoying a sumptuous breakfast, Qin Yang began to check the intelligence for the day. Ding! Today's intelligence has been refreshed. Intelligence 1. At the Moon Bay Grand Hotel, room 1105, there is a spy from a certain country. Intelligence 2. Zhuo Hongmei is deliberately causing trouble. Jiang Qingying is a very strict leader, especially towards male employees. Intelligence 3. There is a hidden expert in the security department with good character. Chapter 131. Disguised Visit. Captured a beautiful young woman? Qin Yang's spirit was shaken. Today's intelligence was quite impressive. The first piece of intelligence indicated that even before starting work, spy information had already been pushed through. Recently, the activities from that certain country have become increasingly audacious. The spies they send out either cause destruction, engage in subversion, or commit theft. On the surface, they promote freedom and democracy and friendly exchanges, while behind the scenes, they engage in wicked deeds, harming others. They use all sorts of despicable means to obstruct the great rejuvenation of the Dragon Country. Fearing that the people of the Dragon Country will live a happy and prosperous life, we must remain highly vigilant. We must do our utmost to root out spies and crush their conspiracies. The second piece of intelligence was as expected. Qinyang thought. What kind of person is Zhua Hongmei? Would she kindly arrange a leisurely position for herself? And what is up with Jiang Qingying? Why does she harbor such hatred towards male employees? Has she been hurt by a man? Is she considered abnormal? Is such a person suitable for a management position? The third piece of intelligence was another good piece of news. Qinyang had just received news about Zhua Xiaojing, a junior combatant under his command. The intelligence indicated that there is a mid-level combatant among the security staff who has remained very low-key. Even the security manager is unaware of his exceptional skills. At 8 a.m., Qinyang arrived on time at the office of the administrative manager at the Moon Bay Grand Hotel. You must be Qinyang? Jiang Qingying glanced at him, her eyes flashing with a hint of barely perceptible disdain. So handsome. At first glance, he doesn't seem like a good person. Yes. Qinyang nodded. Even though he was psychologically prepared, knowing that manager Jiang would not be fond of him, it still felt quite oppressive to face her directly. Jiang Qingying appeared to be around 25 years old, very beautiful, with a great figure, but wore a cold expression, as if someone owed her $1 million. Of course, it might also be due to her not being in a good mood. Since you were arranged here by General Zhua, I won't refuse you. However, our administrative department does not keep idle people. Let's arrange a task for you. From now on, you are responsible for checking the grooming standards throughout the hotel. Anyone who does not meet the standards should be recorded immediately and corrected on the spot. Don't say I'm not supporting your work. Go to the security department and find the security manager to request 2 security personnel for assistance. I will call Manager Ma. In less than 3 minutes, Qinyang was sent out. He arrived at the security department's manager's office, where Ma Dashan received him warmly. Commissioner Chun, I heard from Manager Jiang that you need assistance. Please let me know what you require. Everyone knows that the administration department is the core department under President Zhua, and Jiang Qingying is her direct subordinate, with Director Zhong overseeing everything. As a security manager, he dared not offend them. Consequently, he treated Qinyang, a commissioner from the administration department, with great respect. Manager Ma, you are too kind. Thank you for your support of my work. I will certainly convey your goodwill to Manager Jiang. Qinyang's words pleased Ma Dashan, as that was the effect he desired. Under Ma Dashan's lead, Qinyang entered the office area of the security department. Although it was called an office area, it was essentially a large monitoring room. Half of it was filled with numerous surveillance screens, allowing clear views of every corner of the hotel, both inside and out. The other half contained the fire control panel, with countless little lights flashing. Any anomalies would be immediately addressed by security personnel. At that moment, Zhua Xiaojing had completed his check-in and was getting along well with the other security personnel. This guy, with his silly demeanor, was quite liked by everyone. Qinyang scanned the area and noticed a security guard under 30, quietly standing aside, out of place compared to the others. Qinyang pointed, Manager Ma, I think he and this other person can work. The two he pointed to were Zhua Xiaojing and Wang Fei. Ma Dashan felt puzzled. What kind of insight does this Commissioner Chen have? He is picking the odd ones. Zhua Xiaojing is new on his first day. What does he know? Wang Fei, on the other hand, is an experienced employee with 3 years under his belt, but he has hardly spoken 10 words. He is always so quiet. Fortunately, he is reliable when it comes to work. In 3 years, he has never made a mistake. All right, Wang Fei, Zhua Xiaojing. You two will follow Commissioner Chen's orders from today until the task is completed. Zhua Xiaojing and Wang Fei immediately ran over, standing at attention and saluting. As a 5-star hotel, Moon Bay has very strict management. The entire security team is organized in a military fashion, with most being retired soldiers, young, handsome, and imposing. Their uniforms are also quite refined. Black suits, white shirts, blue ties, and black shoes, with miniature earpieces. They are a fine sight at Moon Bay. Thanking Manager Ma, Qinyang began to patrol the hotel with the 2 security personnel. The way he carried himself did not seem like a new employee at all. Xiaojing, since you just started, did Manager Ma arrange for any experienced employees to assist you? Zhua Xiaojing scratched his head. Yang, Manager Ma said I could choose someone to be my mentor. If I can't decide before the end of the day, he'll randomly pick someone. Qinyang laughed and pointed to Wang Fei beside him. You don't need to choose, just take Brother Wang as your mentor. Zhua Xiaojing was a bit surprised. Brother Wang? I heard from other colleagues that he is quite reclusive and doesn't talk much. I'm awkward with words myself. If I get paired with someone who is even quieter, won't that make things worse? Qinyang noticed his reluctance. You brat, are you rejecting Brother Wang? Let me tell you, he is a true expert. Far more capable than you think. Zhua Xiaojing was skeptical. He had the strength of a junior warrior. Not to mention ordinary people, even in the military. He was considered top-notch. No way. Qinyang chuckled. If you don't believe me, you can ask Brother Wang. Zhua Xiaojing really approached Wang Fei. Brother Wang, my Yang said you're an expert? Wang Fei glanced at Qinyang, but shook his head. Xiaojing, I'm not an expert, you've got it wrong. Zhua Xiaojing looked puzzled, but Qinyang just smiled and shook his head. He happened to see a flower pot nearby that was not positioned correctly. He went over to adjust it. He accidentally slipped, and the flower pot fell. Zhuo Xiaojing was startled and rushed over to catch it, but missed by a hair. A shadow flashed by, and in an instant, Wang Fei caught the flower pot. Brother Wang, you're even faster than me? At that moment, Zhuo Xiaojing finally believed that Wang Fei was a hidden expert. His skills should not be underestimated. At least in terms of agility and speed, he was much faster. Brother Wang, from now on, you're my mentor. This time, Zhuo Xiaojing was fully convinced. Wang Fei was at a loss whether to laugh or cry. This disciple was one he couldn't shake off. All right, no need to call me mentor, just call me Brother Wang. I'll gradually teach you the rules of the hotel. As for how much you can develop, that depends on you. Zhuo Xiaojing was very happy. Brother Wang, don't worry, we'll work hard together. In the future, I will improve, and you'll have a bright future too. Wang Fei finally smiled. Okay, let us work hard together. Ding. Gained 10 points. Current total, 360 points. Keep it up. Successfully connected Xiaojing and Wang Fei. Can this expert really be out of touch? Under Chen Yang's guidance, the three-person group patrolled the office floor. Wow, our Commissioner Chen has taken office? Zhuo Hongmei happened to pass by and saw them. At first glance, they didn't look like new employees, but rather like big bosses inspecting work. Chen Yang looked at Zhuo Hongmei, unsure of what to say. He had just reported for duty and was assigned to check on work, which was clearly a job that could offend people. No need to guess, Zhuo Hongmei and Jiang Qingying shared the same thought. They couldn't wait for him to offend someone and get fired. But the two individuals had different starting points. Zhuo Hongmei didn't want him to interfere too much with the hotel matters, while Jiang Qingying simply didn't want to see that unpleasant man. Uffed. Zhuo Xiaojing, who was nearby, held back for a long time but couldn't help but burst out laughing. He quickly covered his mouth to suppress any noise. Yang Gu was just the big boss, right? My sister is really funny. Chen Yang, feeling frustrated, continued to patrol with two large subordinates. When they reached the first-floor lobby, he suddenly spotted a stunning young woman holding an employee card but dressed in casual clothes, a striking red suit that drew attention. Chen Yang frowned. It seemed quite formal. Was she preparing to attend a wedding? Stop. Chapter 132. Aunt Qin is not an aunt. Calling her sister is more intimate. Chen Yang shouted, startling everyone. Fortunately, there weren't many guests at this hour. A few front desk beauties, along with Zhuo Xiaojing and Wang Fei, turned to look at Chen Yang, including the young woman in the red dress. Are you calling me? The beautiful woman pointed to herself, a bit uncertain. Chen Yang strode over confidently. Yes, I am calling you. Why aren't you wearing your work uniform during working hours? The beautiful woman rolled her eyes. At Moonbei, this is the first time someone has pointed out my appearance. Don't you know who I am? Chen Yang shook his head. I don't know. It's my first day on the job. A second later, he reiterated. However, that doesn't affect my duties. No matter how high your position is, you must abide by the hotel's rules. During working hours, wearing the work uniform is mandatory. The beautiful woman suddenly wanted to laugh, sizing Chen Yang up and down with a hint of amusement. Which department are you in, and what position do you hold? Chen Yang replied seriously. I am in the administrative department, serving as an administrative officer. The beautiful woman slapped her forehead and immediately pulled out her phone to call Jiang Qingying. Qingying, what are you doing? Did you specifically send someone to check on my appearance? Upon hearing this, Jiang Qingying immediately understood what was happening and quickly explained, Sister Qin. I'm sorry. This guy just started, and he doesn't know everyone yet. I'll come down right away and have him apologize to you. Jiang Qingying hurried down the elevator. Upon seeing Chen Yang, she immediately scolded him. Chen Yang, what are you doing? I sent you to check on employees, not to create trouble. Do you know who this is? Our administrative department's head, Director Zhong Qin. Apologize to Sister Qin right now. Chen Yang turned his head to look at the beautiful woman, Zhong Qin. No way. I'm not apologizing. During working hours, wearing the work uniform is a hotel rule. Everyone must comply. Jiang Qingying was so angry that her chest heaved, nearly unable to catch her breath. You thought he was just handsome and charming. But it turns out he's quite stubborn. Be stubborn if you want, but don't drag me down with you. If you don't apologize, I'll tell Director Zhuo that you're not qualified for your internship and get you fired. Jiang Qingying revealed her trump card. Chen Yang was furious. The little girl, finally showing her true colors? Was this inspection just an excuse to get rid of me? Now she's got what she wanted? Unexpectedly, the beautiful woman beside them, Zhong Qin, suddenly spoke up. Wait. She stepped closer to Chen Yang and raised a hand. Chen Yang was startled. Did this stunning beauty want to hit me? Such a narrow-minded person? It didn't seem like her style. Slap. The beauty's hand lightly patted Chen Yang's shoulder. Not bad. Young man, you have a bright future ahead. Your name is Chen Yang? I'll remember you. After saying that, she turned to Jiang Qingying. Qingying, we should take care of newcomers. For diligent and responsible employees, we must cherish them even more. I appreciate Chen Yang, so don't make things difficult for him. You can report anything about him to me at any time. After speaking, the beauty smiled at Chen Yang, swayed her slender waist, and walked into the elevator, heading upstairs. Jiang Qingying shot a glare at Chunyang and quickly followed after her. She recounted how Chunyang was recommended by Zhua Hongmei to Zhongqin. After thinking for a moment, Zhongqin said, "Come with me to General Manager Zhua's office." The two beauties, one tall and one short, entered the general manager's office. The three beauties gathered together. As a subordinate, Jiang Qingying quickly explained Chunyang's offenses and expressed her stance. Dismiss him. Zhua Hongmei felt a sense of joy, almost reveling in the situation, showing no intention of pleading for Chunyang. However, she soon heard that Zhongqin, being magnanimous, had not blamed him, which left her a bit disappointed. "Is this Chunyang your relative?"